Hello, chums, and welcome back to one of our regular Saturday After the Fire games. This is our Game of Thrones Song of Ice and Fire tabletop role-playing campaign, and we are here ready to try and storm Castle Ironwood. I'm very excited, also a little bit nervous for this episode. We've got to remember how we do the warring, uh, as well as keep it fun and engaging as well for ourselves. So yeah, without much further ado, let's have a chat to the main gal herself, Susie. What up?
Hello. Hi. How do we play this game again? How game go? Miri rolls dice and then wins, yes?
Maybe depends what the dice roll, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You do only have one little bonus dice friend in your
Oh shit.
frame
Only
as well.
one. It's a bonus too.
It's not even a keep dice, yeah. So remember, folks, this isn't a shill, but if you want to help Susie out tonight, you can with a few quid sent over to like donation bits. I've got loads. Look, Seffi's right. Look, she's like, yep.
Oh,
I've got 3 bonus
got
and 2 dice. Yeah, 2 keep dice. Yeah, if you want to help Susie out, then you can tip. You can send us over some bits or some pounds, Great British pounds. Yeah, or some dice and some bonus dice. The pricing thing is below. James.
I mean, I'm feeling good. Mary has been training for this for a whole 6 months.
You've got a strategy too.
Well, I've got a strategy. I don't know if it's a good strategy, but it is a strategy. Who knows? Who knows? But she dies. I will only be very, very sad. And it will only be the cherry on top of a shit week, Sam. So if you kill Miria today, just know that you have ruined my week.
Okay. I could live with that.
Fuck.
It's Game of Thrones.
All right. Jesus.
You win or you die.
It's true.
You win or you die, right? There. Helping Susie die, I mean win tonight. Don, how you doing, friendo?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here playing a little guest character and helping Susie reclaim her birthright. It's been a long time in the making. My character died trying to achieve the same thing, and I know that Lady Miria is going to be successful. No doubt in my mind. I will do whatever it takes to help. That's why I'm here.
Nice.
And I've also had a good week.
Good.
By comparison. Yeah.
So I can kill you and it's okay. All right, cool. Fine, fair enough. All right. Well, I went back to work this week. So obviously now I want to die because it's like actual, work rather than, just the trivial things of like launching a Kickstarter the previous week. Nothing really, But yeah, a nice chill day, and I've been thinking a little bit about this battle. I've been prepping, actually prepping all week. But then again, I've had to like prep units and all that kind of stuff. If you want to check out that aforementioned Kickstarter, then check out the link in chat right now. But Sephi has given you like, I guess 5 keep dice. She's given us what? 25 quid. That's it, right? 5 keep dice.
Thank you, Safi. Appreciate you. Holy shit.
That's as many as I've got on my little graphic. So and now now we can't see you. That's great.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, good tidings, right?
Oh, thank you, Justin.
I might just move these because my God, I'm not going to see you anyway. There we go. We'll put the little total above you because really it should be shared tonight, right? Like we're going to share it. Okay, It's going to go in the corner of the battle map. That's where it's going to go. All right, cool. All right, fuck it. Stop bridging. Let's get into this. Right. Okay. This is the battle for Castle Ironwood, the seat of the Ironwood House, and your claim by birth, or so you say. You have with you, now that those forces have arrived, a small force, small kind of couple of units. You have some Tairoshi Mercenaries that have essentially they were the kind of starter that Harris said were going to head up to the Reach before they were able to gather some more houses around them and some more forces from Westeros itself. But these are essentially the mercs they've been able to hire and bring across the Narrow Sea. And so, you have a bunch of sellswords with bright coloured hair and beards. And, they're here just for the coin, essentially. And you could absolutely get the impression that, they are here to kind of plunder a bit of what they can, share in the in any kind of raiding, any kind of looting that you get out of this. And then there are the Torsi Sand Steeds, led by one Helios Sand. And these are a unit from Jourdain, House Jourdain. So Lord Stefan has loaned you these horses. Just a small fighting group. So the cavalry units, whilst the normal units, they have about 100 men to them. These have about 20 knights to them. But a mix of men and women, a little bit like the Sands were when you were a part of that unit, when it came to following Daenerys. And then you have your homies, the Brotherhood of the Blood Royal, with you. And I can imagine that these have become kind of almost like a personal guard to you as well now. So these are your men to command. While it's Harris, who is strictly speaking the general for this battle, I'm going to give you command because it makes the most sense. So that you're going to get to, make orders, fight alongside people, which you would have anyway. And Harris can be alongside you as well. You can place him as well on the battlefield as you need to. As you gather the night before in the war tent, or even the day before, if you want to do a night battle, the various sergeants, commanders, and lords and knights that will be under Harris's command assemble. And they look to Harris to the strategy that is going to be used in this battle. Now, when you were speaking to Harris, did you want to do a night battle? Did you want to do like a nightly kind of raid, or did you want to fight by daylight?
I think night serves us better. If we had a bigger force, a day battle would be more viable, but we need the element of the cover of night, I think.
Yeah, night for sure. If I find it just quickly, will reduce your visibility. So it will essentially give you a penalty dice on all like related checks to, being able to kind of make people out in the dark. Certainly marksmanship tests, and so archers will be impeded, all that kind of stuff. But it might give you the ability to move more stealthily in open ground, stuff like that. So yeah, for sure. Their awareness is going to be hampered by the fact that you're fighting at night.
Yeah. Do we still have as well Enzo's sister's ships?
Yes.
Her little crew?
Yeah. So I'm thinking that Harris, at your behest, would have sent out a raven to catch up with them as they were sailing from the Tor across west to the harbour here. I think it's like the Red Rock Harbour.
Yeah.
And so those orders would have contained the idea of initiating a raid on the docks themselves.
Yeah.
Both to form as a distraction, but also because you most certainly will know that there are the kind of remnants of the Royner fleet here. And these, at least in name, would have been the same unit, the same kind of ships that Lord Martell would have brought with him 5 years ago. And so there are a few ships in dock, and you've seen that through your scouting and through your kind of espionage and stuff of the area. And so if there's a mix of them in port, but also kind of, guarding and scouting around the local bay.
Yeah. Okay, so just for the benefit of folks that haven't been privy to our DMs, I'll lay out the basic strat that we have.
Yeah. This is it, right? So everyone's just sat around the war table, and you've got some like bits of wood and rocks and stuff to have the lay of the land. And so you can show people.
So yeah, Miri's got a stick. She's poking a stick around, because you always got to have a stick to poke around a war table, right? So she explains that what is Enzo's sister called?
So you've been introduced to her as Aurora. She's been introduced to you as Aurora. Yeah, it's the kind of
Aurora.
Yeah.
Okay. So she'll say, Aurora's fleet will come in to Ironwood Harbor, stage a pirate attack, as the Brotherhood have been doing previously, to cause a distraction out there. Also hamper the remaining Royna fleet in the Ironwood docks. While that is happening, any attending forces will be attacked from the flank and behind by our Tulsi Sandsteeds. Sandsteeds? And sort of pincer movement to try and get the two of them. That will cause a distraction big enough for the rest of us to be able to infiltrate the keep via the ruined Brotherhood building in the east of the keep. There is a vulnerability there, which will allow us to enter the keep, hopefully undetected or slightly less detected. What about, can we split units in this? I can't remember, because I might split the Tairoshis, because there's like a lot of them at 100, right?
Yeah, like not really.
Okay. Because there's only like 20 Sandsteeds.
Yeah.
Oof.
In terms of kind of the strength and the momentum of battle, their value is the same. They're both 2 units.
Gotcha.
Sorry,
All right.
they're each a unit.
Yeah. I went a little like Crusader Kings there. I was like, oh fuck, there's only 20 of them. And then this number's going to be bigger than that number.
No. A unit equals a unit.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just take them all in. The Brotherhood and I will head immediately for the keep to try to apprehend Horatio Ironwood. Mercenaries can defend and deal with any remaining forces within the keep. I know there's a force, I remember from my youth, there was a force, the Sandworms. They had a nightly force, which could prove to be a problem, so please be aware. She's like business like it's a fucking airline. But the goal here is to apprehend Horatio Ironwood and end the fighting as soon as possible. They most likely have larger numbers than we do, so we must be careful and try to do this as quickly as possible. So basically, sum it up. Attack the harbor. Oh no, a harbor's being attacked. What's going on? Rush out. Smash. Sneak into keep. Stab, stab, stab. Where's Horatio? There's Horatio. Got him. Everyone stop fighting. I've got him. Done.
Okay.
In theory.
It
is not going to go like that.
I have a question, Sam. How much do the Dornish contingency that's here, part of this force, how much do they know about Lady Miria?
The Brotherhood probably know a fair bit, and if I remember rightly, it was really only what's his face, Frederick, that knew, or whatever his real name was. Francis. Fuck me. It was only Francis that knew of your real parentage. So the rest of the Brotherhood...
Jourdain didn't know.
Jourdain met Miria as Miria Greenmont.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he knows her.
Didn't she? Though when I did the whole Blackfyre stab, didn't I explain to Jordan?
Oh yeah, yeah, most likely.
So, yeah.
Your claim is a real claim. You're trying to make it work. So
Yeah.
there wouldn't be any doubt from the Dornish contingent that she would be occupying and claiming the house.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Harris points out to the table there that so we're not going to attack the Barbican head on, so we don't have to worry about the drawbridge or anything like that. So that's like the main gatehouse that's to the south here on the map. To the southwest of that, just southwest of the Barbican, is the main tower keep itself. And the old Brotherhood Hall, which is what Lady Miria is pointing out, is on the east side, the eastern corner of the keep itself. We're going to need ladders, and he motions off to a few camp followers. We're going to have to crawl down the dry moat, and then we're going to have to try and scale the outer wall, the outer bailey from there. But as the Brotherhood have thankfully told us and shown us, that hall, left in a state of disrepair, is a weak point that we can use to our advantage. It'll be a lot easier to climb, and no doubt we'll have a lot of small ins and outs that we can get through to get into the main courtyard itself. If I were Horatio, I would be placing myself at the top of that tower as far away as I can. From what Miria has told me of him, that's probably where he'll be. Away from the fighting. Like the coward that he is. He's kind of working the room, you know.
Yeah. Look at him go.
It's likely, my lady, that the fleet, Aurora's fleet coming in, will have to engage the Royner ships that are here, and so I do worry whether there'll be any real engagement from the forces on land to that assault. It might be that the ships just get tied up, and so who knows, really? But we'll have to see how they respond. I wouldn't assume as well that we have the element of surprise. The Ironwoods very likely know that we are here. Even a smaller force as we are, they'll have heard that we've moved through the lands, and they will certainly have heard from their Lord Paramount that we are landed in Dawn. So we need to fight with everything we've got. Because, again, if they are defending their home holdfast, then they'll be fighting with everything they've got. Every man that can hold a peasantal will be kitted up and defending that keep. But you heard the lady. It's Horatio we want. This isn't a massacre. This isn't an assault. This is carefully planned, carefully executed. Is there anything more, my lady?
And Miria, she's been paying attention to what Harry said, and I would like to reiterate what the Lord Ball said here. This is not a massacre. This is not a raid of smash and grab. This is a mission to reclaim my home and my people. So if at all possible, let's try to limit the loss of life where we can. I don't want to claim my seat having slaughtered half of my people.
This gives you an opportunity, Susie, to set up your standing orders and your kind of marching order as well. So moving from right to left, we essentially have your vanguard, your middle, and your rear formations. So you can set those 3 units that you have to any of those that you would like. If you were marching in a column, then the vanguard would be at the front, then the middle would be in the center, and then the rear would be at the rear.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so taking account of what Harry said about the ships probably engaging themselves like each other and probably not a lot of ground combat for this the sand steeds, I'll have those like in the rear, so they're ready for a sort of reinforcement at the back. And if anything is going on, they can't go across the freaking moat, the horses, so they can also always wait for when we drop the bridge to get them in. Is Miria that? Is she that? I'm really tempted to put her in the Brotherhood in the Vanguard at the front as the breaching force in, which is really stupid, but feels like something Miria would do. Like she wants to first one on, last one off kind of thing, and then have the mercs in the middle.
Okay, let's do it.
Jesus.
Okay. And in terms of their standing orders, if you were to like never interact with them at all during the battle, what would their objective be? What would their order be?
So for this stage, it's purely advance, get to the keep, and then once at the keep, it's attack.
So the Brotherhood are going for that eastern corner. Do you want the Brotherhood to be the ones with the ladders?
Actually, no, I don't. I want the mercs to be the one with the ladders.
Okay, so really the mercs are going to be the vanguard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thinking about it.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to equip the Tairoshi Mercenaries with the ladders. So they'll advance, try and scale the wall, and then get over to the other side. The Brotherhood of the Blood Royal, essentially what they follow them.
Yeah.
Okay. And
the main chunk of the forces are trying to get into the keep as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So that's fine in the mid.
And the Torsi Sand Steeds. Or could it, Don will be the one kind of mainly controlling them, but what would their kind of standing orders be?
There is like basically cover the back, deal with any forces that are trying to reinforce the keep.
Okay.
And then wait for us to drop the drawbridge and then come on in.
Cool.
It's party time.
I think while the orders are being given out, that's probably when Helios Sands kind of steps forward away from his little group of cavalrymen and knights towards the war table. And he is a dark-haired northern Dornishman, wears splint armor wrapped in red silks. He's probably like late 20s, early 30s, a very fine beard, keeps his appearance quite well. And there's probably like just a little bit of a hint, a little bit of a remnant that he looks maybe like Oliver looked when he was much younger. He has a similar appearance. And he just asks after the orders are given, bowing to Harris and to Miria, "My lady, once my men are outside of the gate, what if the gate does not come down? Should we climb the walls? I do not wish you to be there without reinforcements."
I know I missed that accent too. Sorry, just for a minute. I was like, excuse me. Miria, she takes. Should the gate not be lowered, then yes. Though I feel you're strongest with your horses. Am I correct?
We are good riders, yes, but do not worry, my lady. My men and I will fight to the end for you and for the future of Dawn.
She nods very respectfully, like, yeah. Well, by all means, don't let me keep you from the fight.
It's like an eager grin on the corner of his lips at that. He bows and just sort of steps back to his group of like maybe like a few of his knights are here with him.
Okay. That night, as you make your advance up towards the keep, you don't see anybody on the road running west to east up towards the keep. And off, obviously, to the northwest, you've got the Boneway, which is where most of the Guardians of the Boneway, the garrison that would be here, Ironwood, would be up there. You don't see any lights up at the first tower where they would be on lookout across the Boneway. And your ranger friend of the Blood Royal points this out. "No watchers on the wall, my lady. They're definitely expecting us now."
Mm-hmm. Well, let's not disappoint them.
And you march up towards a field. Just your... no, let's don't want to turn order. Hang about. I mean, you're about kind of, a good 80 yards from the castle, but it's, as you remember in front of you, this kind of sand-coloured, sandy bricked, purely, that kind of red brick castle. Not too tall apart from the tower. It's just on the left-hand side. And the outer wall looks a little more reinforced than you remember from your childhood. The dry moat, though, still remains, and all of those where there would be water along the lower part of that wall are punctured 100 or more little holes, arrow slits. Around the barbican, the drawbridge is raised, and there are a few just dots of torchlight up on the outer wall, particularly to the eastern side, the eastern corner, where you can see some movement around in the pale moonlight. The town to the north looks a little bit more shut up than usual. There are a few lights there, and a few chimneys are lit, and the smoke rising from those. And that night, you wait, and you wait a little longer until you can start to make out the shape of sails on the horizon. And with a swiftness, they come in, and they start to bombard the port with lit arrow fire. Susie, why don't you pick up Ezra's fleet sheet.
Okay.
And can you roll me an attack against the remnants of the Royner fleet?
I sure can. They are fighting 3.
So this would be marksmanship for now.
Oh, it is marksmanship, right? Yeah, it's still 3 anyway. 3, 6, 12.
That is just 2 degrees of success.
That is 6 damage.
Okay. So those arrows start to bombard the fleet that is in dock. There's 1 or 2 ships that are just outside, and they have just started to turn towards them to try and make their response, which they are going to do now as more arrow fire starts making their way over to the ships. I'm going to add myself a bonus dice, I think.
You monster.
Oh, hang on. So actually, it would be. Yeah.
I'm not responsible if your sister dies.
So that's a 9 against your combat defense, the unit's combat defense. This is just like combat, works exactly the same.
Ooh, that's just 1 degree of success.
Okay. Then that is just 3 damage. But remember your AR as well, your armor rating.
Okay,
They
that's
will
fine.
have some. Yeah. So those arrows, like there's a an arc of arrows flying over each other. The Royner fleet not lighting their arrows yet. Ezra's have that edge. They have that readiness as they're the ones on the attack. And there's a distant thump and thud. This little spray of arrowhead on wood on both fleets, and you see a couple of fires start to go up in the Royner fleet. The ships that have started to turn and started to engage the other, and parts of the dock start just lighting up. There's a couple of hay bales or some barrels that start to go up, and then it starts to just, this light starts to get cast a little bit onto the marketplace and the town that's just to your northern side. You can start to hear cries of alarm, and the cries of some possible civilian casualties or some levies up there. Okay. Then we're going to proceed in order here from the vanguard to the rear. So the Tairoshi Mercenaries. So this round, do you want them to just rush? What I would say, actually, so just a little bit of rules is your score in warfare. That's how many orders you can issue in a round.
Okay.
And for the sake of so you can actually make them do custom shit if you want to. But if you don't give them any orders, then if you want to save an order, for example, then they can just start moving their way, and I can sort that out for you. One unit can only really take 1 order around, just for simplicity. You can't just keep them doing something again and again and again, because it doesn't really make sense in the timing.
Okay. Well, I have a 3 in warfare, so I can issue 3 orders.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I want them to advance.
Did you want them to dash? Did you want them to just try and make their... Oh, do you want them to dash? Do you want them to try and make their way up stealthily?
Stealthily. We're trying to be a little quiet about this as
Roll
best we can.
Nice. Roll their stealth for me then. And they're going to move up about 40 yards.
Do they have stealth on this sheet?
If they don't, it's a 2.
It's a 2. Fuck. All right, I'm gonna use one of my let's use one of the keep die. Fuck it, let's do it.
Cool. All right.
Go boys, go. 10.
That is what you needed.
Mm.
So as the mercenaries make their way up, they make their way up through some of the irrigated crops and fields that are here, growing vegetables and some flax and wheat and stuff as well. And so you actually start to lose them a little bit as you're with the Brotherhood, and they're making their way up through those fields. The Brotherhood next.
Okay, we're gonna just follow behind.
Okay. Roll me that stealth check.
Where my Brotherhood at? Brotherhood. I've got so many windows I have open right now. It is absurd. They're not particularly stealthy either. How many dice do I got? I got 4. All right, let's do another one. 8. Ooh.
Oh, okay. And with that, there's a cry from the castle outer bailey walls as there's an order to stand to and stand ready.
Okay, well, fuck it. Shame time.
And the Sandsteeds, Don.
So hearing the order going out and being in the rear of this group, also mounted in cavalry, order going out from the castle, the alarm's out that they've been spotted. Are there fires in the town proper, or are the fires just on the ships at sea?
The fires are just on the docks themselves.
Okay.
So there are a couple of fires on land, but they're not within the town, they're not within the marketplace just yet. There's a few stray arrows have hit some of the dock, and they've caught up some of the barrels with maybe acid or alcohol in, or
doesn't seem like soldiers are starting to spill out into the town, or
you can certainly hear in the very distance what you think to be troop movement.
okay. So knowing that the jig is quickly up and that the Knights of the Blood Royal might have been spotted, maybe the mercenaries too, Helios gives the order for the cavalry to charge in a loose formation. So they spread out, they're not all clumped together, and they're going to ride swiftly, trying to stay just at the outer edge of where arrow fire might be able to land, and try to move as far as they can around towards the town. Maybe drawing some attention away from the mercenaries with the ladders and away from the Blood Royals.
Did you want to go up this way, like by where they are, or did you want to go up to the west?
Oh, interesting.
Go round the castle, make a bit of a distraction, or kind of get there as quick as you can, just past the other units that might have been seen?
Yeah, I think get past the other units in the direction of the town, because if they're spotted, then there might be troops approaching from town that we could kind of head off temporarily.
Sure thing. So you can move 80 yards, and the scale should work for you if you right-click as you move, or if you want to kind of measure it quickly. Yeah, so you can move anywhere kind of within 80 yards as you dash as your cavalry unit dashes.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, as your cavalry, let's make that. Yeah. Let's make that. What's it? So if it's 40 for normal troops, and I would not quite double it if they were rushing, but it's 80. Let's make it 100 actually. So you've got another kind of 20 yards. So you could probably make it you can loop round there. So the Torty Sandsteeds, just gallop past the mercenaries and the Brotherhood, just in front of them, just through those crops, and there's a kind of cry of like a war cry that goes out amongst them as they dash forward.
Yeah, they're making a bit of a scene as they ride past you in a loose formation, spread apart, hoping to draw some of the attention to them and to place themselves in front of the town between you.
So as you as you move forward there, as you lead the charge, you see two units, both around 100 men strong, of Ironwood levies moving forward to start to try and engage you. Another of them is going to move back towards the marketplace here as you see that unit move and, or rather nervously, form up. And these don't look like well-trained, well-seasoned soldiers. They have got kind of ragtag assortment of leather armor and kind of billhooks and even some scythes and spears and stuff like that they've been given. And so these essentially look like to be the levies from the town that the Ironwoods have gathered up in preparation for this.
They armed with bows at all, or is it all like melee weapons?
No, it doesn't look it. So you can't tell if they've got any ranged weapons just yet. But they are kind of nervously moving in to engage. All right, and then one last action from me. Okay. Then it's back to the mercenaries as they start. They're making their way through the field. Susie, what's your next? Hold on.
Okay, so as far as I know, the mercenaries haven't been spotted. It was just the Brotherhood, right?
You have been spotted now. You can hear those cries coming from the castle. But as the mercenaries were moving up first, you don't get the impression that it was them that gave the game away. When you started moving, when you were following them, that's when you got the drop on you.
Okay. Time's of the essence now. It's just sprint straight for this corner. Try and get there as soon as we can.
Cool.
So dash up. And I think
they will make it to either corner you want to do, whether it's that kind of nearest corner or whether it's that outer corner, depending.
Can you ping for me where the ruined building is?
Exactly here.
Exactly there. Okay. Oh, corners are always iffy though. That's like so many angles of death. Oh dear. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go for this corner here. Because at least then we're only dealing with one unit and not potentially three, if they make it in. I think much like the stand steeds, why can't I say sand steeds? We're going to go in a loose formation just to give them more chance of not getting peppered to death by arrows as they run in.
Okay. So they dash forward and land their ladders onto the wall, and a few of them making good placement and making a good connection with that. Are the Brotherhood just following up?
Yeah, we're just
or are you waiting
behind.
Back or okay?
We're gonna let them clear that immediate hurdle before the Brotherhood make that assault, because they're not a huge huge unit, they're like my little guards. So yeah, we're just gonna hang fire for a second, I think, but we're gonna be ready. We're gonna ready. So when the mercenaries make it up top and start clearing, we're gonna move up after.
Okay, so you hang back. I don't mind you kind of moving up to probably to the kind of the edge of the field, right? As you're looking out to what's going on, and as you get up there, you start to hear the cry and the yelp of people under attack. What's the mercenaries' combat defense?
It is. Hang on, that's the fleet mercenaries. 6.
Okay, so with one degree of success, just shy of 2, they are going to receive 4 damage. As
tank from their armor.
Ooh. So there, cinematically, there's a few who get it. Oh, actually, who did I do? No, I didn't do them. Right, yeah. As you can see, arrows coming down from the top of the walls, they're still cohesive. The ladders are still retaining and they are still working their way up, but a couple of people start dropping from the front of the ladder as these levy archers are starting to just aim down, and they've got an easy shooting gallery style throw down that way. And then from out of the murder holes, actually towards the bottom of the dry moat, little arrows and slings and short bow shots start coming out of these murder holes. I don't need any bonus dice for this. And a 12 against their combat defense is going to be 2 degrees of success. And from that, they are going to take 10 damage.
Woof. Okay.
But obviously soaked by some of their AR.
Yeah.
But you can see that it's not just the guys at the top that are starting to drop down from these arrows, and some of the kind of from the back wanting to shield up and start to move to the ladders.
I'm an idiot. They're in loose formation. So they have a combat defense of 11.
Oh, nice. Okay, so the
So it's
peasant levies
only
don't strike, and then it's just 1 degree of success,
1 degree of success.
which is 5 damage.
5. Okay, that's much better. They still take 1 point of damage.
Yeah. So they tank the peasant levy stuff, so they're moving forward with their shields up. If we kind of retroactively just step back a bit for a second, and they're rushing forward, and the ladder's making good contact. And then as they start scaling the ladders, it's not the guys from the top who are starting to fall down from the ladders, but you can see people almost like horizontally off the ladder, being shot, being thrown off, as through those little murder holes in the dry moat, people are firing up at them as they're trying to make their way up the ladder, and it just takes them by surprise completely. So there's a couple of casualties as they make their way up, but the mercenaries are starting to make their way up the castle wall. Don, back over to the Torsi Sand Steeds then.
So Helios rides to the front of this loose formation, looking onto the town beyond, the fires that are starting to rise from some of the buildings. And he tries to see what is this troop in front of him that's approaching this levy doing. Are they marching directly towards the cavalry? Or are they kind of holding, like they're creating like a guard in front of the town?
They are trying as best they can to form up to be set for a charge.
Okay.
As in, they're expecting your charge.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's disappoint them. I
love that.
So Helios rides to the front, and he raises his halberd up in the air and waves it about, and then slides it into the harness on his back, and he draws a spear, and he calls out over his shoulder to his men, "Force them to disband. Do not engage directly. Let them flee us. These are innocent men and women." And he holds up the spear, and he commands his troop from a distance, the maximum distance of close ranged spear throwing, to try to attack with marksmanship, the hope that maybe he can cause them to rout instead of, because if he could charge right now and just trample these levies, he could kill them all, but that's not what he's trying to do.
Shit, I forgot they had. Oh, it's because they're gorillas too. I've forgotten what I even made them to be. They've got these, javelins and throwing spears and stuff.
So I'll do a ranged attack.
Yeah,
because it's less damage.
Yeah, just on the edge. And I imagine there's that beautiful cycle of horsemen throwing javelins that like they're cycling round the front. So as the front man is thrown, he's turning his horse, and another one is coming up behind where he was, and is just about to throw as well, in that kind of circular motion.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, that's really cool.
A 12.
You're going to take I forgot about the ones before, but you're going to take a penalty dice from the darkness, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're at night.
Okay.
I suddenly remember.
Right. So that'll just be a 9 then.
Well, I mean, a 9 on the levies would give you 1 degree of success.
I mean, that's only 3 damage.
That's fine.
Should have written them down.
Yeah, you take out a couple of troops as they're trying to hold their ground. And yeah, they look still kind of set and standing, ready to fight, ready to take any kind of brunt of a cavalry charge that you might inflict on them. So they're quite rigid in the way that they look like they've been trained. They look like they've been told to kind of do one thing, or like drilled to do 1 or 2 things maybe. But this kind of advanced tactics that you can bring to the table, really, they're not going to compare to it. Susie, with the mercenaries up the top there, starting to head up onto the battlements. I guess really the only thing they can start doing is try to fight those levy archers in order to actually make a kind of beachhead on the top of the walls.
Yeah.
All right. Make me that fighting check.
Fight. Mercenaries is my boys and girls. Okay. Oh, 8.
Against the Levy Archers is going to be 1 degree of success.
4 damage.
Okay. As the mercenaries actually make pretty good headway, and it's always incredibly difficult to, when you're getting up a ladder, actually get up over the precipice. But for the mercenaries, they make light work of the first kind of rank of archers as the archers fumble, trying to put their bows away, trying to get their short swords and maybe any kind of bucklers that they have out. Instead, they're up, they kind of spear a couple of them, stab a couple of them, there's a couple more falls off the wall, and then they're back, there's a few of them starting to make a breach at the top of that wall, and they're starting to fan out from the middle of those ladders and starting to kind of separate the archers out a little bit. I actually even forgot in my crazy narration that there is some defense from being in a castle, and it's like +4 or something.
Oh,
That's fine. We'll keep that result. That's cool. But I need to remember all of my fucking modifiers and shit. 'Cause I don't think I have it on my. We don't have it on the cheat sheet, but there's a little defensive bonus.
There's community, whatever that means.
Yeah, that's not it.
Fortification?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, is there one that says fortification?
Yeah, fortifications cover +1 to +5.
Oh, well, that helps, doesn't it? Small castle +6. Oof. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Got to remember that. Okay. What I want to do is I want to. That's from the murder holes. I just added that unit in there for you. The Levy Archers are going to fight back with their 2 fighting of a 7.
Nope.
Okay, cool.
Because the boys are still loose, right?
This is a fighting test rather than a marksmanship test.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
So they'll have their normal combat defense.
Yeah. Okay, that's 1 degree.
I think it's like 1 damage. Hang on. It's literally 1 damage.
Okay, it's nothing.
Yeah, so the Levy Archers are trying to fight their way as best they can, and the mercenaries, whilst they've made a little kind of, breach at the top, they're not progressing any further down the wall, and they're certainly not making their way towards the gatehouse as you would expect. What would you like the Brotherhood to be doing at this point?
Well, have the Tyroshis at least cleared the base of the ladders yet? Are they getting up onto the walls yet? Because otherwise I don't want to be stood in the moat being like, please hurry up.
Yeah, if you move this round, you will absolutely be... I mean, you will need to spend a round at the bottom of those ladders, basically.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. What we'll do then is we'll advance forward to the bottom of the ladders in a shield wall formation.
Yep. Kind of cautiously moving.
No, loose, because shield wall gives us a minus to marksmanship, and that's not what we need. We need a so we'll be loose heading towards the base. Just shield. It would look like, if it was cinematic, a shield wall, because that is effective against ranged weaponry. Game.
Look, yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, for sure. So they're forming up this really tight, kind of almost turtle shield wall type thing. I think there is a turtle in the main rules. I just probably haven't put it over onto the cheat sheet. But yeah, so they're tightening up as best they can, so they'll increase their combat defense against those archers.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And we're going to move up to the base to be ready to go up the ladders and support the boys.
Cool. So they make their way up to that base, and as you reach the bottom of the dry moat, you get to see up close and personal those murder holes, and another batch of short arrows are flung out of them.
Jesus, Sam.
And are going to deal. I'll take 1 off of that, so 16 against your combat
16.
defense.
Okay. Combat. Oh, it's like 7.
Mm-hmm.
+5.
No, that is with the +5.
Oh, no.
So they've got the chunky armor, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So what is that? That's 2 degrees.
Okay. It's a 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay. All right. That's fine.
Okay. So the way that you can ignore damage, as per the cheat sheet, just as a reminder, is through disorganizing them, possibly routing them, and once you can't ignore anymore, a bit like wounds, right? So you ignore all the damage if you go to disorganized, and then once more if you go to routing, and then you can't soak any more of that. So once they're at health 0, they're done.
Yeah. They only took 1. It's fine.
All right. So the Brotherhood of the Blood Royal, a few of them just drop down dead around you as more of those murder holes fling lethal little barbs at you. When your unit takes damage,
Don, why did you have to make these soldiers so good?
They were mine. I didn't think that they would kill.
You're going to take some damage. I'm going to say like 2 because you're attached.
Okay. Sure. I've got armor on. It's fine.
It's going to ignore AR.
Well, that's rude. But
So,
that's fine.
you've got a little bit of the hero aura around you, right? So in this shot, men left and right are getting shot, and suddenly you're kind of not surrounded by anybody anymore, but you've still got the unit behind you as you're kind of there with your spear and shield, just like, oh, fuck. As people just drop, next to you. And you're at the bottom of this dry moat, and you have got a almost sheer climb to make up the next kind of, 30, 40 feet to get up to the top of these walls.
That's why I posted the image of Miria having the well-deserved nap after this is over. Because, Jesus. Stressful.
And then we're going to head up a little bit to the Torty Sandsteeds again. After your javelin throwing. What's next?
What's the naval battle looking like?
Oh, shit, yeah. Let's do that. Susie, you should roll for Ezra's fleet for me again. A couple of times, actually.
Okay. I think I can just do that. 8 for the first one.
That's going to be 1 degree of success.
12 for the second.
And that's going to be 2 degrees success. You need to drop a dice from each of those. The lowest, because you're fighting at night.
Okay, that becomes 7 and 10.
So that's the 1 degree of success each.
Okay, that's 6 total.
6 total damage?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sure. Let's do that. And then I'll come at you with more of your thing.
I wish you wouldn't.
They are so there's a larger ship in port that's actually very quickly starts to unfurl its sails and make its way out into the bay a little bit. And from that, there's just, it's like someone has walked over your grave as you hear that really low thunk as a scorpion bolt is thrown towards Ezra's fleet. And they are going
That's bad.
This is one of the big ass ships, right? 8 against their combat defense.
Their defense is 8.
Then I succeed.
No. but it's only 1 degree of success.
It's going to deal 3 damage, ignoring AR.
Okay. Woof. Okay.
As
they're fine.
a small ship on the right flank of Ezra's fleet starts moving in, just behind Ezra's flagship, and it's a little bit quicker, a little bit nippier than hers as it catches a slipstream. And then unfortunately just gets this scorpion bolt right through the bottom of the main mast and through the cabin, and you can see just starts to Helios. You can see starts to sink into the water there, and then they're going to make a normal marksmanship attack again. So we're going to do 3. We're going to drop 1 here, which is an 8 against your combat defense, or Ezra's fleet's combat defense.
I just closed the sheet and now it won't open again.
Oh.
Hang on. Let me just refresh the Roll20 real quick.
It is defensive 8.
Oh, there we go.
AR 5.
Yep.
So she's going to tank 3 damage.
Okay.
Cool. All right. And so, yeah. Torsi Sandsteeds.
And the levy soldiers, are they just standing there after we throw a round of spears at them? Do they appear to be doing anything different?
They try and form up, and you can hear men on the other side, of your lines, shouting at each other to hold firm and to try and keep in formation. They're doing a good job of keeping their morale, but they still look like they don't want to advance.
This is tough.
I'm actually going to move the other lot kind of here.
And is that another group of levy?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
more dudes with scythes.
Yeah. And so in the sea battle, the naval battle, it looks like it could go either way, right? But the ships, the Martell ships are close to dock.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Seeing the reinforcements of other levy troops and seeing the scorpion bolt ring out against the navy and cut down, smash through the deck of a ship, Helios grits his teeth and he says, "We have no choice. Run them over, force them to disband. We reach the docks." And he kicks the side of his horse and he draws his halberd, holds it out to the side, and under the moonlight, in a wedge formation, they charge.
Nice. All right. I'm going to roll with the bonus dice. They're fighting because you're part of their unit. And the charge is going to give them -1 dice.
Wedge will give them +1, so I'm going to roll 66 and keep 3.
No, so charge, unit moves and resolve. Oh, the wedge. Oh, sorry, yeah. Gives them +1
formation.
fighting. So that adds all to the total. You still drop the dice. So
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
Wow, how many 1s did I roll?
Oh my god.
A lot. Fuck.
That's an 8.
That is 1 degree of success.
So that is 6 damage.
+2 base damage for the charge.
For the charge. Okay, so that's 8 damage.
Okay.
Oof.
They are going to be disorganized. I don't know what that'll do. So that I can tank that damage like a wound. So you charge into them, and there's quite a few of them just kind of get out of the way as you start to move through them. You cut a few of them down, and they look to be about maybe 3/4 strength, that kind of thing. But they're basically, there's this kind of almost insect or flock-like movement of kind of moving out of the way of you, and they don't hold like a shield wall or anything like that as you kind of ride over a few of them. But you kind of try and turn around, try and maintain the cohesiveness of your unit as you kind of go past them, go through them, start to turn round and be on that side by the marketplace.
There's this thing in the cheat sheet that says character actions. I can attack units too, and each degree of success deals 1 damage, ignoring AR. Is that something I'm able to do as Helios?
You could do that instead of adding that bonus dice for them.
Oh, okay. That's what the bonus dice is. Well, for this turn, we'll say I already rolled the bonus dice, so yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
not,
next
not our
time.
most successful ride.
No, but next time they can go in, and then we can do a couple of rounds of you kind of beating the crap out of them personally.
Cool.
It's all you want. I get it.
I'm a simple
Okay.
man.
So in response, the levies that were moving up to the other side are actually going to turn, and you can see that they're actually under the command of someone who looks like they know what they're doing. It looks like a kind of sergeant at arms or something like that from the keep, who is actually getting them to then flank you as they come in from the side once you've made your attack. So they're going to get a bonus dice from that kind of flanking maneuver.
Are they charging me too?
Yeah, it's not a charge, but they're just moving in and flanking you. But they'll roll an 8 as well. Against your combat defense.
That will be 1 degree of success.
You will take 2 damage.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the sand steeds, as most of them are fighting, they come in with the lances, but they have shields ready because they know those soldiers are over there. So they have shields ready on their right side, and they hold up against the shields, and they absorb all of that damage. They don't take any.
Nice. Okay. Then we go, let's go back to the top, and then at the end of the round, I'll do the fleet battles. So the ends of rounds. The Tairoshi Mercenaries are up at the top of the wall. They're making some ground, but they need to make more. So the guerrillas are in the murder holes, kind of underneath the keeps. They're not attackable, but you've got the levy archers there as well. And you hear shouts and cries from them that over to their left flank. They also have another unit, a garrison unit, down by the Barbican.
Okay. So that's down, though it's not on the wall. But
it's not on the wall, no. Yeah, they're in the outer bailey at ground level.
Yeah. Okay.
They're like covering the entranceway to the courtyard.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna have them continue to attack. Try and clear this unit, or at least make them retreat from this top of the wall so we can get the top of the wall. They're an infantry unit, right?
The mercenaries?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have them use a shield walled formation while they're up there to try and give them some extra defense so they can like push back and create like this wall to push these archers back to buy us space. So they're going to do that whilst they attack, which should give them +5 defense versus fighting.
Nice.
Which is where my boys at? Where they at? All right, so they're going to just try and keep smashing these archers, these poor archers. With a 13.
That is 2 degrees of success.
That's 8 damage.
Oof. They are going to become disorganized. Right. As the mercenaries do start to push them back along the wall, and on that inner wall there's no like railing or anything like that, so they're getting thrown off the side into the outer bailey and crunching on the floor, or they're getting stabbed up against the wall, even thrown off the front. And so the mercenaries are starting to kind of push them kind of northerly like that across the northeastern wall, and they're making their way, making a gap for you, basically.
Okay. So follow up from that, the Brotherhood is just climb, get the fuck up right now. Let's go.
I'm just gonna, in response, the Levy Archers are
Oh,
going
yeah.
to fight the mercenaries. Poor little buggers. Rolled a 4.
Nope.
Cool. As they're now in close combat with short swords and daggers and stilettos and stuff. It's getting crowded up here, and the Blood
It
Royal
is.
make their way up onto the left hand side of the mercenaries, which means that you're not actually in kind of melee engagement with the archers. And then just below you can see the Guardians of the Stoneway down there. Now starting to move up a little bit, starting to cover the closest exit down the wall that you've got is a stairwell that's at the Barbican, at the gatehouse. So that's where you would have to get to then make your way down that wall.
Yep. Okay.
Which you can start to do, to be fair.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's start advancing. We're still going to maintain the shield wall to give us defense. Sorry, we'll move to a shield wall actually rather than loose. To give us some defense.
Cool.
As we make our way down. I think, yeah.
This is going to get very confusing. I'm going to put a little red dot for your boys. It's not quite... There's no black dot, unfortunately, so I can't do, like, Black Dragon, but those are your boys. Well, actually...
Red field, though.
Yeah. Oh, because you're part of it, I should give them a little bolstered by you.
Ooh. So Muriel looks at the point. She's like, "Ooh, get him!"
All right. In response, the Guardians of the Stoneway are going to start coming up the stairs, and they're just going to try and head you off, and they are going to make a fighting check against you. So here we go. I'm going to give it another bonus dice. I think I spent one earlier, so I think I have to take out 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I can't remember. Total dice pool. Oh shit! What was it again?
Nailed it.
5. Dropping 1. Submit. 16 against your combat defense.
So with the shield wall, it brings us to 7. So that's 2.
2 degrees. Yeah. For the Guardians of the Stoneway, that's going to be 6 damage.
Armor, mate.
Nice. So there's this crunch at the doorway that's, only a few men ahead of you, as, the garrison here and the Brotherhood are starting to go toe to toe down the stairs. And you can hear that echo coming from the Barbican and that chamber, and you can start to see there's, a little bit of glow from the torchlight that's in the actual gatehouse itself. And that casts some horrible shadows and flecks of blood up the wall as men are injuring each other and dishing out death. Then we move back up to the Sand Steeds. So yeah, Don, you could essentially make their attack if you wanted to without your bonus dice added to it, and then you can make some attacks.
So as they're starting to get swarmed a little bit and they push back against these peasants with their shields, Helios calls out into the night, "Square up, hold steady." And the cavalry begins to ride and form a square formation to protect against being flanked. And he orders his cavalry to push back at this new group. So the cavalry itself is going to attack the new group, but that's not what he's going to do. So I'll just roll regular. So a 9.
Against the new group, there's going to be the same as that. It's going to be 1 degree of success.
And 6 damage.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Sir Heliod breaks away from the square formation and slings his shield over his shoulder and draws his halberd. And he begins to move through the routed group, the first group they attacked, just trying to cut down a couple of people fiercely, with his halberd, using it like it's a scythe, hoping that he can encourage them to disband further and just start running.
Yeah, for sure.
And so this says, I think it says for every degree of success, I deal 1 damage, ignoring AR.
Yep.
Okay. A 28.
Fucking hell.
3 crits.
Fucking hell. They are going to start to rout. I'll just tell you that for free. I'm not going to calculate the damage. They're going to take enough that I'm going to soak. They are going to start routing. They're going to do basically exactly what you wanted to do. So in response to that, they are going to start running. And they're just going to start running into the night. They make their way out away from their own town just to try and get away from you and from your attacks. The Ironwood levies.
I think he probably only cuts down like a couple of them, but it's just like
it's
his
enough.
Confidence in that moment.
And people are just dropping their weapons right there and then in front of you and just making a run for it off to the east. The levies just to the north of you, though, they are going to start attacking the... oh no, did I just do that against you? No. They haven't had a response attack, have they, these guys up to the north? No, okay. Sorry, I was losing my place a little bit. Alright. Well, they're going to roll their measly 2 dice as well. Oh, actually, hang on. They've got a dude, haven't they? I need a bonus dice for that. They're going to take no damage, I guess?
That is a degree of success, yeah.
Yeah, they only got like 2 damage. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just... And they're not really like... The cavalry aren't trying to kill all of these men. They're just blocking and pushing them back with their shields and cutting down a couple who look like maybe they're a little bit more intimidating. Maybe they're leading the levy, like, you know, they're the most fierce of the front line, just to try to dissuade the rest and hopefully push them back and rout them as well.
Cool. Nice. Then we go to the van, to the mercenaries.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have them. They can only really do one thing, right? They can like attack or move. They can't attack and move.
If you want to, like, you don't have to stick it like to the script of the orders that we've got in the cheat sheet. If you want to say, I want them to push them down the stairs to try and make some headway, that's enough of an order for me to be like, okay. if you want to, whatever the opposite of, whatever. If you want to be specific about what you want to do in the moment, then we can do that. Rather than abstract stuff out. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. So yeah, they would have been told to basically eradicate these archers, make sure that these walls are not going to be used to fuck us once we're in the courtyard. So do what you got to do to get these archers out of here.
Yeah. No, for sure. So we can do a basic attack, or we could do I think it's just an attack, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we could cheat. So if you want them to be absolutely reckless, we could cheat something in here, which we do in combat, which is like a +1 dice on your fighting, but like -5 combat defense or something. I can't remember what it is.
I think that works pretty well for the Tairoshi Mercenaries. You know, as you described them, they're about rowdy boys that are here to have a good time. So I think
you're shouting over to them to like just fucking eradicate them all, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they go nuts, I guess. Yeah. So roll it with an extra keep dice, but we're gonna -5 to their combat defense.
46. 18.
Oh, fucking hell. Levy archers. This is gonna be 3 degrees of success.
That's
12
but damage.
Oh, but no one's really getting the defensive bonus anymore because you're all in a castle, right?
Yeah.
What damage is it?
12.
It makes sense here, I think, as well, like you were saying, that they get butchered, and these are levies too. They've just been rounded up. Have the people that could fight with a bow were given this job, and the people that could fight with billhooks were given that other job in town. Like these literally, it's like D&D barbarians. These mercenaries are just wading through people, slashing left and right, and bodies falling left and right from the wall. So they're out for the count.
This makes Susie happy. Mary is very sad to see this.
The Brotherhood Hall in the ruin that's just is just underneath them, actually, and I think that circular tower there would certainly have stairs and ramps down to be able to get to the outer bailey.
Well, as per the briefing, it was clear the wall, get in, and then
kind of occupy occupy the hall. Yeah. Cool. All right. The Brotherhood of the Blood Royal are fighting down these stairs. Do you want to make a fighting retreat to move back, or did you want to try and push your way down this staircase?
Let me just check their stats real quick.
I'm playing a lot more D&D with music nowadays, and I'm really feeling the loss of music here. We need some fucking battle music. Do you want some battle music?
Let's have some battle music, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's some battle music somewhere.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to push down these stairs and meet the Tairoshis in the courtyard when we get there.
Okay.
Which may be not the safest option, but So we're gonna keep smashing the boys in the face. Still though, I think because the Brotherhood, right, we've got like shields and spears. We're just gonna do like that poking like phalanx stuff from like ancient Greece, right? You build a little wall, can't get through, but your spears can.
Yeah.
And just advance.
Oh,
this is dramatic.
Drama. Set your sound levels as you like, friends.
Way ahead of you. Okay. So an attack. Let's add a keep die onto this because I'm just feeling mean.
All right.
So that's gonna be. Come on, roll 20. Please be kind. 17.
Oh, the Guardians of the Stoneway. Where are we? That's a 6, 11, 16, 3 degrees of success.
12 damage.
Fuck. Okay. They become disorganized as they start to actually make their way back. And a few of them start banging on the inner Bailey's gatehouse and the portcullis there to let them in. And that you just started to hear the clink, 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 clink of it like starting to roll up, so the winch starting to go. Where are we? Disorganized. There we go. Oh, this is traumatic. And then the Sand Steeds.
So Helios spins around, turns his horse, begins riding back through the streets, probably sees like, I don't know, burning cart or something, a barrel or something that's on fire from one of those arrows from before, and he kicks it over just to kind of create a splash, a distraction, and then he yells out, push, push, and orders his steeds, the shield wall, the square, to begin like slowly rocking forward and stabbing downward, trying to, continue to try to push back this group and disband them.
Yeah.
15.
Ooh. That is 2 degrees of success. Not quite 3.
It'll be 12 damage.
12 damage. Fuck. They are going to disorganize.
And then as they start to break up and start to fall apart, he's not a sir, Helios who is a bastard, not a knight, kicks his horse and begins riding down a side street directly into the heart of that group. And he's got his halberd in hand, and he is going for their commander, like driving a straight beeline for whomever is commanding this group.
Fuck this. We're going into some tete-a-tete combat here now, friends. Right, where's my knight?
So Don, what you're gonna do is you just gotta imagine that you are Samuel Webb circa season 2, and that you are riding towards one Tom.
Fucking hell.
One Tom.
One Tom.
5 6s.
5 6s. Manifest.
5 6s.
All right. Very, very quickly. Roll me agility.
Okay. Let's change my name.
I'm working on the same sheet, by the way. Just so you know.
Boom.
The fuck? Oh, I didn't roll quickness like an idiot. Okay, you go first.
All right. No, this is a different cheat sheet. Let me scroll up.
Oh, it is, yeah.
To
Sorry.
combat. You know what? YOLO. This is a reckless attack. He thinks if he can take out this, knight, then the levy will break away, peasants' lives will be saved, and they'll have the town. $19 with 2 6s.
Oh, fucking hell. It's 3 degrees of success with 2 6s.
2 6s.
Hey, Susie, we're almost there. That's a sundering hit. Reduce your opponent's AR by 1 until repaired. Okay. So what does this look like as you crunch through his armor?
21 damage, and I like to think that like as he's running down this side street, he leaps the sand steed over like an overturned cart that's spilled out in the middle of the street and lands directly like in front of this man. Just like he probably sees the horse coming through the air, but before he can get his weapon around this knight, Helios is there, landed, and as he lands, he turns the horse to the side and swings, shifting his body off the side of the horse, wrapping his feet around the stirrups to try to keep himself on the saddle. But he's throwing his entire body at this.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I think the guy goes prone for a second, gets knocked back, flying off of his feet as he gets up, and his kind of mustache, curly beard, kind of bald head, in his kind of this, Dornish splint armor, starts to get, as you circle him round, starts to get up again and clutching his spear and his shield again. You can see that he's dropped down to one knee a little bit. There's certainly one leg that you've swept, that you've maybe broken, where he's going to really struggle now. He is going to fight with his spears. I am going to not use any bonus or test dice. He is going to roll a 24 with 1 6.
Does he have a wound from the 21 damage I dealt him?
He does.
So is that?
So that's actually going to be 20.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, that is a 20 is going to be 3 degrees of success.
So a spear. Oh Jesus! I now have to actually find the proper reference table for this.
Agility.
Is that?
So 3 damage.
Is it just agility? A spear is athletics.
Oh, is it?
So
I think it's still 3.
Yeah, 3 damage. And is going to be. So that's going to be 9 damage.
9 damage. All right. That's okay.
You can tank it.
So I think, you know, he tries to pull himself back up on the stirrup as this knight starts to stand and thrusts upward with the spear. And even as he's pulling himself back up, he's just too off balance. And it catches him, I want to say it catches him, you know, between two plates of his armor, his splint, like right underneath the ribs. And there's blood like trickling down the side of his armor.
Yeah, man. Oh, your turn.
All right, let's do something cool.
Oh, you had that combat defense negative, right? That reckless attack. Did that affect
I
it
included
at all?
that, yeah.
Cool. Okay, good.
It did, yeah.
I only ask because I always forget shit like that.
Me too. He's got a wound. You know what? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to so Helios, after pulling back, turns his horse sharply to the side and attempts to kind of like half flank this man. And I'm basically maneuvering with a lesser action to try to make it harder since he's already wounded. You know, the more mobile I can be, the harder it's going to be for him to hit me.
Yep, do it.
I think, is this just flat fighting or do I use my bonus dice for anything?
So you'll make a lesser action to... this is just a flat fighting test against their passive fighting result.
Cool.
So you're looking for a 20 at least.
Yeah, I rolled bad.
Okay,
That's okay.
even with his injured leg, he is kind of circling around as you're moving around him, trying to outmaneuver him a little bit. He stands his ground. But you've got another lesser action.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a cautious attack for sure. So instead of like going full out like when he first charged, this time as he's kind of turning around and this man's, you know, this knight's skilled fighter as well, able to match him. His goal is to basically use the halberd and the sharp end, the almost spear-like end, to jab it downward and maybe catch this man, maybe get lucky and finish him off. But at the very least, he's not going to overextend himself on horseback.
Yeah, sure thing.
Wow, I'm rolling awful. 13.
That is going to be 2 degrees of success.
Be 14 damage.
Oof. Oh, jeez. I'm going to wound him one last time. As he's going to have a last... He's just going to have a last stand against you here, I think. He's going to aim, and then he is going to make a standard attack. I am going to use one of my test die as well. Actually, I'm going to use my last bonus die. So, this is going to be with 2 bonus dice. 2, 5 plus 1, so it's rolling 8. Dropping 3. Oh god. 23 with 2 6s.
That'll be, let's see. I've got, hold on. Defense 8, 13, 18. That is 4 degrees of success. That's just 4 degrees of success, even with my defense bonus.
So it's going to sunder your armor, so you're going to have -1 AR until you get it repaired. Because of the crit. And then I guess that is going to be 12 damage.
See how much I need to soak. Got 8. Take an injury. 12 damage. Oh, okay. Hold on. So that's 6. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Your turn. As he
Yeah. So
as he's turned around you, and as you've gone for another attack, he's, it glances off his shield, strikes through his shoulder, but with the other shoulder, I'm fucking left-handed. He strikes true through your armor, glances through yours, actually, penetrates some of the splint.
I think Helios catches the haft of the spear as it pierces his armor, and he begins to lift the man up off the ground. And his teeth are bloody, but he's got a big, big smile in the moonlight. And he says, "I'm sorry, my friend. You fought well." And then tries to just pull the man up by his own weapon and push his own spearhead of the halberd down through his throat.
Oof. And fuck it, you do. You just very slowly just push that in, and he coughs up a river of blood and falls into the dirt of the Ironwood town. We're going to come back to... Oh, yeah, go on.
Yeah, he just whips around and looks for his men.
Yeah. They're still fighting the levies and still trying to warn them off. It's more of a kind of taunting, pushing and retreating kind of Harry attack rather than an actual assault. Tairoshi Mercenaries. Susie, what do you want us to do next?
Okay, so there is the force, right, that's in the bomb of the Barbican?
Yeah.
Okay, I want the mercenaries to just flood out of that building and just rush at them, just to try and
try and get down into the foundations of the murder holes.
Yeah.
Try and find those people that were firing from the murder holes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. No problem. All right. So they rush down through the castle, and that, from what you hear, from what you can see, is their turn.
Okay.
The Brotherhood of the Blood Royal, who now a few men down, probably about actual half fighting strength, are starting to make their way down this staircase. Harris, just behind you now, has managed to catch up with you and is just not saying anything, not making a moment of it, but is kind of hurrying up behind you, ready to support you and your troops.
Okay, so yeah, we're just going to keep pushing down the staircase, just trying to get past, just get rid of this unit, try and get down into the courtyard.
Cool. All right.
I think Miria obviously she's in there as well, she's obviously a little bit behind, but where there's an opening, she's in there with her spear, she's keeping up morale, she's barking out the orders.
Yep. Make me a fighting test, I guess, against them.
Fighting. All right. Fighting 4. 8. Roll 20. What the fuck?
That is going to be 1 degree of success.
Okay, that's 6 damage.
Unless there's anything more for them being disorganized. I honestly can't remember right now.
Let's have a look.
No, it just means that they now need to make warfare tests to actually get their orders done.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is just 1 degree of success. What's the damage?
6.
Okay. Yep. You're getting in there. They're at a fighting retreat, so I'm gonna see what they do in terms of their fighting. Fighting retreat, fighting withdrawal, -1 dice. Unit moves half its speed. A critical failure disorganizes the unit. Oh fuck.
Mm-hmm.
What's your combat defense?
2.
Oh, okay, they can't critically fail this. Okay, that's fine. Because critical failure is 5 or less. Sorry, 5 or more under the difficulty. Okay, so I'm just gonna make this 4 dice. Oh, actually, no. Sorry. I'll take that result if they can actually make their order. Where are we? Primary narrator characters. Horatio Ironwood. Can he get them to do the thing? Yes, he can.
What a fucking
Oh, wait.
shitbag.
So the 12 is the base difficulty, and I believe I said that it's modified by their unit type. So they are a garrison. Oh, did I just close them like a muppet? Okay. Their discipline is 0 whilst they're within the area, their hometown. So, yes, they managed to organize a little bit better. They make a fighting withdrawal through the portcullis and into the courtyard as you trail up behind them. The gateway and the portcullis is what's separating the two of you right now. Because the other side of it, as they have rushed through, has come slamming down on top of one poor unfortunate brother. And it just like almost slices him in two as he goes crumpled up against the wall and then crashes down, just taking off a leg or two as he crumples to the floor. A leg or two? What the fuck?
A leg or two. Just a leg or two.
Just a leg or two. A leg as he crumples to the floor, right? That's what's separating you now.
Okay.
Those two. Harris looks to you in some of the in ensuing chaos. He looks over to the portcullis, obviously that's just come down, and he looks around. He asks you, "What next? To the hall?" And he looks over to his right and over to the northeast. You can see there's the hall,
That's
the
the
ruin
next
just
order.
over there.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Brothers to the hall.
Right. That was the Brotherhood. So actually, we bring it up to the Tairoshi Sandsteeds as these levies are going to rush off the board. Oh, fucking the fleet battle, right? Let's go back to the fleet battle for just a second.
Oh yeah, the ships. Yeah.
We just got so invested in the cool. I need to do a couple more of these, right? Ezra's fleet. Make me a couple of attacks.
4.
Nope.
16. There we go.
Nice. That is going to be 2 degrees of success.
That is 6 damage.
Okay. Another of the remnants of the Royner fleet, another smaller ship, starts to go down and actually just starts to sink, just where you can in fucking Sea of Thieves, where you can just about see that they're just about to go down. Yeah, they're just starting to go under the water now as sailors are starting to dive over the side, and the mast is probably coming down as well, and some shit's on fire. So there's one ship that's starting to go down now, but the rest of the fleet, the rest of the few ships that are here are still up and in port. They are going to make another Scorpion Bolt attack, because of course they are. That's actually an 11.
Okay, that is 1 degree.
3 damage ignoring AR, and then they're going to roll their standard fighting chest, which is pretty much exactly the same, but they are going to deal only 3 damage per degree of success, and that's a 4.
Okay, so that's not a hit for the second one.
Cool. Sure.
Okay.
So another Scorpion Bolt slamming through the water at the fleet, at Ezra's fleet, and you see a couple of the ships just start to peel off a little bit in a kind of almost a state of panic, and they're not quite keeping formation, they're not quite keeping coherent with each other.
Valid.
I mean, it's fucking siege weaponry on a ship is starting to be
Scorpions.
thrown at you.
Yeah, it's not nice. I've been there before, I feel you.
All right. I think when we're going up to the Sand Steeds, I think next, because we were just on the Brotherhood. Yeah.
So this group is disorganized, but not routed yet.
Yeah.
So I think after cutting down the Ironwood Knight, who's leading the levy, Helios turns and sees like, a small sea of peasants with pitchforks and makeshift weapons standing between him and his squared up troop. And he's going to ride through them and cut down a couple like before and see if he can't force them to rout.
Sure.
25.
Ooh. Yes, that is 4 degrees of success, I think.
So
21.
Hit and results.
21's 3 degree. Hang on, 6. So 11 is 2, 16 is 3, and 21 is 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 4 damage, ignoring AR.
Mm-hmm. Oh, stupid. I've lost count of which one was which now. They are going to rout, actually, I think. They would kind of soak this, right? That guy's dead. They've just taken, a few men have been killed, a few local men have been killed. So yeah, they will start to run, to move off.
Okay. So as he cuts his way back to the front of the group and the peasants start to flee the town, he rides towards the docks and he calls over his shoulder, "Loose formation, men. Support the Navy." And they're going to charge the docks and make a marksmanship attack against the Ironwood ships.
Oh yeah, shit. Okay. Yeah, let's. I'll move them up for you. We've got about They head right up to the dock as you follow them, kind of trailing behind. But yeah, they can throw their spears off to some of the ships that are still making their way out of the dock.
The idea, yeah. 10.
Against the remnants of the Royal Fleet is going to be 2 degrees of success.
That'll be 6 damage.
Sorry, I read the AR. Sorry, wrong thing. It's 1 degree of success.
1 degree, so that'll only be 3 damage against their AR.
Cool. All right. There's
Doesn't seem to have any effect.
No, there's the thud of several spears on the hulls and of the wood, and a few just trailing into the water, like almost like you expecting skipping stones, but they just sink straight through. But yeah, none of them catch the sailors on deck, unfortunately, or anything like that, or the nearest ships that you've got. But trailing up behind, you can see that there is this larger ship, this flagship with this kind of huge swan-like, but kind of gnarly figurehead at the front that looks itself like it could be a ram too, and these scorpions set up on the main deck, pointing towards Ezra's fleet. The Tairoshi Mercenaries, they're going to head so they are okay, they are looking for the people underneath the thing. Okay, I'm going to roll something for them here, as I think you're kind of you can't communicate with them at the moment, so I'm going to make the kind of standing order thing for them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make them roll this, and I'm going to see what happens. Oh, I need to click that and click that. Okay. All right. These mercenaries, man, I fucking love this. You hear from, and sorry, actually, you should be able to say as well. You can see the old sandworms that you used to know, mm-hmm. The skirmishers, are inside this courtyard too. They start making their way towards the tower itself, towards the keep. You can see as they rush towards your left-hand side. And then from the right, somewhere from below the keep, emerge the Tairoshi Mercenaries. And they are on the flank of the Guardians of the Stoneway. So essentially, their action this round was finding their way through those murder tunnels, basically, all the kind of the battlements, I guess, that are kind of underneath the keep, and they've managed to work their way up into the courtyard somehow, because they were trying to chase down these guerrillas, but they've found their way into the courtyard.
I love these guys.
The poor Guardians are going to get it next time. You're kind of stuck outside this gatehouse here. You've got the keep just up to your left-hand side, but to your right, you've got the ruins of the old Brotherhood Hall.
That's why we're going. We're headed for the ruins of the Brotherhood Hall, because as per our intel, we can get through them into the courtyard. And also, sneakily a little bit, seeing it in such a sorry state, Merya hopes is going to galvanize the Brotherhood and make him a little bit extra pissed off so they fight better. So let's take the Brotherhood through the destroyed remnants of their history, shall we?
Roll20 will have to decide just how bolstered they are, I think, in their future roles. But you can also help, chat, by donating to us. Anyway, let's roll an athletics check in order for them to climb up the sides of the hall. If they succeed, they can end their turn just inside the courtyard. If they don't succeed, then it will just be next round where they'll arrive there.
Okay. I'm going to use my bonus boy up top. And boom. 13.
Nice. That is a decent success. 12 is like one of the little benchmarks we go by, and that's a good one. So yeah, they arrive just on just like inside the courtyard of the battlements themselves. Let's pump this up a little bit. They can see not far from them the Tairoshi Mercenaries, who are bearing down on the garrison, the Guardians of the Stoneway. But as you work your way quickly through the rubble of the Brotherhood, the Blood Royals' old hall, you don't quite take it in at that second, but just in the back of your mind as you pass by desks, you pass by a broken up stone crest that the Blood Royal had, and it's part of this castle that obviously it's kind of this pinkish reddish brick, or this kind of sandy coloured brick that's here, but it was unique parts of the castle, unique little kind of monuments or unique little frescoes or something that bared a white stone. They're actually forged out of white stone, and these are one of those. You can see it dusty and crushed in on itself, and it's the funnel by which all of you and the Brotherhood start making their way through the courtyard.
It's a cool image though, right? If like they touch it as they go past, like, they see it broken, but like there's a little. Well,
like Merya could, like she could just take a second.
Yeah.
And then Harris stands just behind her as the Brotherhood are rushing through, and a couple of the older ones are stood behind you as well, just kind of looking at it. And Harris just says to you, "We don't have time. Come on."
Yeah, and then Merya's like, "Okay," and then she's like, picks up her shit and. But it's just that moment, right?
Yes!
You know that like everybody always wastes time in cinematic battles, and that's a really good, like, sentimental.
I love it.
She's doing this for Francis. She's doing this for Oliver, and then this is the reminder.
That's when you like draw the Brotherhood sword and like off you fucking go.
Yes, because we're getting in closer quarters right now, and the spear's probably not going to cut it. So
and
sort out.
Proper war cry charge, and Harris follows that war cry, and in you go to the courtyard.
Oh yeah.
Don, what's the stupid idea? I really want to hear of it.
Well, I mean, I had a couple. One of them is more dumb than the others. Like, there's no ships here at dock, right? We're not getting out. Okay, yeah. So
there's maybe some fishing boats, like little fishing boats,
right.
or little canoes or something.
We're not canoeing out to the flagship. No, that's too dumb.
I mean, yes.
So instead, as they're kind of riding, they expand through the village to the docks, and they launch their first round of spears. They come up short. Helios kicks around his horse for a moment, and he grabs another spear and he dips it into one of the fires blazing on the docks from that first round of flaming arrows that was set out. He waves that flaming spear up in the air and turns around in a circle on his horse and calls out to the sand steeds and says, "All of your spears, that flagship, burn it into the sea." And they begin riding in a line along the docks, like dipping their spears into the fires and igniting all of their spears.
Yes.
They're going to move just enough, I guess it would be west along the water, so that they can throw the spears at the flagship, at the fleet from behind. So they want to be away from where that scorpion is aimed and get the from behind bonus.
I'll give you the flanking bonus, but not from the from
Okay.
behind bonus.
Let's see, what's flanking? It's just 1 + 1B, right?
It's plus 1B, yeah.
Okay. 13 with 1/6.
And I tell you what, from the way that you're dipping these spears into fire in hopes that it will set some of these ships alight, if this hits, if this works, then they're gonna take like damage over time. Remnants
And
of the
they're
Rhino
all
fleet.
they're all trying to launch these spears over the docks, over the water, towards the flagship with the scorpion on it.
2
That's
degrees
their
of
goal.
success.
Awesome. And then
2
one,
degrees.
so it's going to ignore 1 AR, and it's going to be 6 damage.
Fuck. 6 damage, was that?
6 damage, ignore 1 AR.
AR. Okay. Whoa. The smaller ships, the ones that are nearest the dock, they start to go up and ignite, and they're just set on fire. There are no more arrows, there are no more attacks coming from those ships. It's just the flagship now. That's literally all there is. And it's turning. It's starting to turn north, and then it's starting to turn back towards the dock. As there's a trumpet, just before it does, Mirror, you can hear very clearly too, there is a trumpet from the tower keep. A long horn pierces the night, and then it's as if taking an order, that flagship, with its ram at the front, with its huge scorpions on deck, starts to move back around towards the dock. The Tairoshi Mercenaries are gonna get a flanking bonus here, as they've, I think, got the Guardians a bit by surprise. Or, I tell you what, or you can have that flanking bonus if you don't want them to have it. If you want to move in and attack the garrison from the side, then you can get a +1 bonus dice. Or you can have the Tairoshis kind of surprise them a little bit.
What would the surprising them get them?
+1 bonus as well.
+1 bonus.
But then you wouldn't get the flanking.
Yeah. Let's have them flank. Like they're smart enough to flank. That's a good maneuver. All right, so that's gonna be 6. But 15
With 2 6s.
with 2 6s.
That is 2 degrees of success.
Okay, that is going to be 8 damage and also reduces their AR by 1.
Okay. Is this Guardians? Sorry, say that damage again for me.
So it's 8, and then their AR is reduced by 1 until it's repaired.
Okay, they're holding in there. They're just about holding in there. They're down to a dozen men, but those dozen men are holding out. In fact, you recognize a couple of them. It astounds you that you've managed to do so in the heat of this battle, but from the distance as well. But you can make out a couple of the older knights who used to be members of the Brotherhood.
Well, fuck them then.
Well, this is their last stand, as they are the last organized ones. They are going to try and... Hello, please work for me. Cheat, thank you. Okay, they are not. They are not going to attack back. But they are making their last stand.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's the Brotherhood.
Okay. Well, it's about to be very bad for them, because we're going to rush up. Because they're in between us and the keep, where we assume Horatio is. So, we're going to rush up to attack them, I think. But I think Miria gives the order, like, to offer them surrender, because they were Brotherhood previously. In a previous life, they were Brotherhood. And so if they lay down their arms, they will live. And if they don't, they will die.
All right. You make your way up as they're surrounded by the Tairoshi Mercenaries. You can see behind them and kind of over from where you're looking, the last of the sandworms making their way into the walls and up towards the keep, and actually into the keep itself. I would like you to make me a persuasion intimidate check, please. The difficulty of this is going to be 15. No,
15.
18.
18?
I forgot there was a difference between 15 and 21. 18, yeah.
There is a difference, a slight difference.
Sorry, there was another difficulty interval between those two. You're literally looking at your bonus dice in chat there.
I am, yeah. I'm like, let me just see if I have...
Do I use these?
Persuasion... Fuck, it's all lying. Jesus. If only I was lying and told them that they would surrender and I'd not murder them.
You could intend to murder them afterwards if you want and get the lying bonus.
That's not Maria. That's me power gaming.
It's juicy,
that's
though,
not
isn't
Maria.
Oh. Maybe she turns. Maybe we can do the Daenerys arc properly.
Maybe.
Vulture Queen. Vulture Queen. Vulture Queen.
Let me get the keep first before I start slaughtering my own people.
Oh, you got keep dice from V. Thank you very much, V.
Oh, thanks, V. I'll use one. Let's use one.
It's our turn with the tabletop fiver.
That's going to be a 24.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Not a single 6 in there.
They're surrounded by these Tairoshi mercenaries. They're backing off. They're backing away. They've got bastard swords in hand, spears, shields. They've got the garb of the Guardians of the Stoneway, but you can see by their fighting style and by their tenacity that these are Brotherhood men. What do you say and what does it look like when you step up to get them to stand down?
So, okay, they're surrounded. Tairoshi's Brotherhood. They step aside as Miria steps out, and she's bedraggled from fighting. She's a little sweaty, but she has the sword of the Brotherhood, and she levels it at them. And she says, I know some of you are good men. If you lay down your swords, you will live. Continue to fight, and you will surely die.
There's some looks between them as they start to gauge what to do, and they start to kind of size you up. But there's one man that steps forward, and not in surrender, but almost in allegiance, goes to one knee and puts his sword down on the courtyard, holding it with both his hands in front of him. And some of the other men throw their weapons aside, or they go down to one knee too, weaponless, or they put their weapons to the ground to show that they are, you know, they are yours to do with as you wish.
And I think, because it's still the heat of the battle, right? She doesn't have time to wax poetic and give them a cheers, love speech. She nods very respectfully to them, and I think she copies the salute that like she saw Oliver do. You know, the Blood Royal. I suppose they have like a special salute or something. She copies that, gives that to him before back to business. We got a fucking tower to climb.
One of them, the first man approaches you. As you salute, he then gets up. He would walk up to you, and then he gets quite close to you, and he says, "My lady, we have been waiting for you." And then
I get stabbed in the face.
you get stabbed in the face. I want the Brotherhood stats.
Am I actually gonna get stabbed in the face?
Yeah.
Oh.
$14 against your combat defense.
My combat defense is 14, so that's 1 degree of success.
14?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus fucking OP Christ. Okay. Then that's... I mean, I don't know what the Brotherhood's damage is here. Can you... Hello? Oh. Long swords... 4 damage.
Nah. My armor tanks it.
Okay. How would you like this to play out?
Ooh. Okay, so what if he's like, "My lady, we've been waiting for you," and he comes in with like a sneaky dagger, right, to try and like gut her. I think she has this sort of danger sense in a way that this bullshit's gonna pop off because no one gets that close. It's a little inappropriate to get that close to your lady. So I think she tries to like move, but the blade obviously makes contact with her. She's wearing scale. I think it makes contact with the scale, and there's that like slice sound of the blade hitting the scales, but it is just a glancing blow. Yeah,
just as she twists the way, and actually it connects with the metal rather than kind of in one of the joints. Yeah. Nice.
And so she's like...
Would, like, pure narrative control, would you want him, like, dispatched by some people? Do you want, like, Harris to jump in and slot the guy? Do you want to do it yourself? Do you want him just knocked out? Like...
I think it's juicy if Miria dodges it and she brings up that sword, that Brotherhood sword, and she just brings it across him. Just
you slice half of his neck open and across a slash across, and it kind of chinks onto his scale armor as well. But again, in a river of blood, he falls down to the ground, down onto 2 knees, and then flops and leaves this pool of blood around you on the courtyard floor.
She points to the other men and she says, "Anyone else?"
Yeah, and that's when everyone drops their weapons. They all, whether they've knelt them on the ground or not, they all just leave their weapons be.
There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah, right. Okay. I'm going to take it a little bit out of some kind of, initiative type situation, but I'm going to do some kind of circles of attention. Ezra, what would you want Ezra to do from here? With the flagship turned and towards the dock?
So the flagship is turned, which means the Scorpions aren't aiming at her fleet right now, which is very handy because her fleet is looking pretty sorry after taking a couple of Scorpions. But as any good pirate would know, if any ship shows you it's aft, you gotta launch everything you've got at it, especially the flagship. So she's just gonna give that order for that one big volley, while they have that perfect opportunity to just fucking nail this thing, because it's obviously gonna do something stupid and dangerous. So yeah, just give that order to. Volley.
Sure thing. So they move a little bit further, kind of in a westerly direction, to fire a kind of broadside of arrows. But yeah, make that attack for me.
All right, let's get that broadside going, baby.
And Don, after this, the remnants of the flagship there isn't actually going to retaliate at Ezra's fleet. 9 damage. 9.
9.
It's 1 degree of success.
4 damage.
Okay. Yeah. There's and so Don, Helios sees a volley of arrows come from Ezra's fleet, but they all land in the sea or the dock or in the kind of hull of the aft of the ship. No sailors seem to have suffered any injuries or taken as casualties. But on the dock, so as you're starting to move around to the west, you see that they have moved up onto the furthest western dock. And they're actually making preparations to get a gangplank down.
How close are they to the dock?
They're docked.
Okay.
They've just thrown that gangplank down.
Helios leads his cavalry around in a loop. They loop away from the west and begin to circle around. And he flashes back in his mind to, when he was a boy, just a bastard, his mother telling him stories about his father, who was a freedom fighter, and other famous freedom fighters from Dorne's past. And he never knew his father, but he grew up on those stories. And as he loops around with his cavalry, he sees that gangplank starting to come down. He smiles broadly and he calls out to his men, "Tonight, my friends, is a good night to die in the service of a free Dorne." And he charges down the docks and he wants to lead his men to charge and leap onto this deck of this ship. He doesn't want to burn this ship down. He wants to take it and he wants that scorpion for himself.
Okay. I'm going to need you to roll for the Sand Steeds a difficulty. I don't think it's impossible. So where is their stuff? This is going to be a difficulty 15 athletics test.
Would it be athletics? Could it be animal handling?
It could be animal handling, yeah.
Now their animal handling seems, how do I want to do this?
I guess it would be animal handling, actually. Unless you want them to dismount.
Why are they so bad at riding horses?
I only had so many stat increases.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they're a mix.
they're only trained. Yeah, they're not super experienced. Mounted or not mounted? Mounted or not mounted? It's just so much cooler if they're mounted, but they can't possibly succeed.
Yeah.
So they're just not good enough. You know what? They're going to dismount at the end of the docks and try to charge on, but Helios is going to leap on his horse. Helios going to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
So I can make animal handling for him and they can make an athletics, I guess. Okay. They're probably going to fail. This is probably a bad idea.
No, if they're dismounting, they're just getting on board.
Okay.
Or at least they've got to kind of start fighting their way on board. So they'll get up the gangplank, but you'll be leading them. Or if you want to actually just somehow leap onto the ship, yeah, this is going to be like a 15 animal handling.
I failed. My dice rolls are so bad.
Oh. Okay. I think for the pure cinema of it, your horse falls into the bay, but you just leap off the horse, get out of the stirrups, and grab onto the side of the ship. As you can see above you, as you hold on for dear life, just the sharpened arrowheads of bolts, crossbow bolts, not pointed at you, but hanging over the side, kind of stood ready, waiting in position. There's a few that start to fly and whiz and whistle over you, and that start to shoot towards the Torsi sand steeds.
Okay. So, yeah, I imagine like he like leaps off of his horse, he grabs barely, probably hooks his halberd onto the deck of the ship to like hold himself up, and he's like climbing up the haft of that halberd, trying to get his hands onto the deck, and there's arrows whizzing by. And I guess the sand steeds will, as they're charging, will just throw a volley of spears at, you know, any sailors who are standing on that gangplank that they would need to run through.
Yeah, absolutely.
A 5 will be I think that might be a success. Let's see.
Yeah, I rolled that crossbow.
Yeah, that is a success.
Cool.
Because they can't do loose formation. They're on a deck. They're on a dock.
No,
so that'll be a success.
So it's 3 damage.
Okay.
Probably tanked.
Yeah, they bring up the shields just in time, and then they lower the shields and they throw a volley of spears.
Cool.
Oh, my rolls. 6.
They slam their spears, their javelins into the side of this ship. A few go over the deck, over the walls, but the sailors have enough cover from behind them that they're not actually connecting with any. There's a couple of close calls, but no actual connection there from them. We got a Susie back. I don't know. Hello. A little bit of a stretch move about. Hokey cokey. So, with you in this courtyard, I'm going to put you down, actually. We'll have a little you. No, boop.
Oh, look on me.
There she is.
See, I look so good in that courtyard, like it was made for me.
Okay. I need to move them to there. What is your next move?
Oh, okay. The dudes have surrendered, allegedly. Advance on the tower with the units I have. Trying to find Horatio. And I think at this point, Maria is calling Horatio's name. She's like calling him out.
Yep. Yeah, sure thing. Okay. As you and the Blood Royal rush into the tower, I want you to make me an awareness notice check, please, as you search through the tower. Okay. Stabbing garrison guards left and right as you make your way through the corridors. A lot of the Blood Royal actually managing to stop and to get them to surrender. Just the simple kind of personal guards that are around here.
In before Horatio was never here. 18.
Okay. You don't see Horatio, and you actually get all the way up to the solar, which is more of a kind of courtroom space. It's very kind of top of the tower, and its balcony overlooks the courtyard. So there's that shot. You break through the door to get into there. You are the first person through that door, and there's like wine spilled, cushions everywhere. It's a mess, but no one is in here. And as you go up to the balcony to have a look around the walls around the courtyard to see where the hell he's going, or if he was even here, if there are any more guards, any more gorillas left too, any more sandworms here. The Blood Royal start looking through various floors, start making their way through doorways and through different staircases. And then you see running along the western wall is a large group of sandworms, and who you believe to be in the middle, Horatio, rushing along the walls.
Where's his wife?
You can make her out too.
Okay.
In the group.
I thought he
Actually,
fucking
that's
left her.
no, that's a really good point. So you you think, oh, if he's here, then where the fuck's his wife? And you try and have a look, and as they're running, you can see that there are a few sandworms who are helping her along as she a young adult now, a young woman, rushing along, just like in her slippers and her courtly dress.
Mm-hmm. So from the balcony, Miria, like to the Harris, to the brother that's with her, or whoever's in this room, she like points them out and she's like, "Fucking let's go get him." Obviously she doesn't say that. That was extreme Susie energy coming through. But she yells, "The Western Wall! He's trying to flee."
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is to the Brotherhood, or are you trying to get the Tairoshi Mercenaries?
Trying to get the Tyroshis because they're in the courtyard, right? So they're in the best position right now to be able to get somewhere. Ideally, what I'd love to do is have the Brotherhood on the wall behind them, chasing them, have the Tyroshis in front, and head them off so they're trapped.
I was one step ahead of you there. That's what I thought you were going to try and do. I want you to please make me a difficulty 9 warfare command test.
Okay, let's use a keep boy, because why not?
Okay.
15.
Very nice. Okay. So you rush down to the western wall. It's not many floors below you, and you, along with the Brotherhood and Harris, start rushing along that wall. As you do, you can see that the sandworms and the royal family, the lordly family that they're protecting, is rushing into a tower on that northern side.
Okay.
And you run as fast as you possibly can. And by the time that you get to that tower, you can hear there's that crunch of steel and fighting as the mercenaries have engaged.
I'm not paying these guys enough. I'm gonna give those guys a bonus. That's good for them.
You are now not quite within spitting distance, but you can see down the hallway through this doorway, Horatio, sword drawn, with his holding his wife in one arm, and he's looking around as they're fighting. A couple of sandworms do notice that as you're clunk, clunk, clunking coming in, rushing in from behind, that noise as they turn and they try and not close the door, but kind of seal it with themselves to try and break the flank a little bit. But you've got a chance to move in. Let's have the Blood Royal and the Sandworms roll off agility. I want to see who's quicker.
Okay.
In fact, no. I want you to roll warfare for me. I want you to roll tactics.
Okay. Let's use the bonus that I've got.
Okay.
13.
Nice. You get to act first.
Okay. Fucking smash through. They're not going to close that door. They're not going to break that flank. We're going to keep up that pressure.
Okay. Make that attack for me.
Okay. So that is going to be... Come on, roll 20. 19. 2 6s.
2 6s. These are the Guerrilla Raiders. That is 3 degrees of success.
Okay, so that's 18 damage, and it ignores the AR is permanently reduced by 1 until it's repaired.
Okay. They become disorganized as the Blood Royal smash into their rear. Oh, fuck. You know what, Susie?
What?
I need you to roll another keep dice for me. I forgot you're attacking them from the rear.
Oh, okay. That's 3.
I just wanted to get out. What does that make it? 21?
21.
22.
Yes, 22. Yes.
That's 4 degrees of success.
That's 24 damage.
Okay, they are going to disorganize. Fuck me. And the Tairoshi, so they're gonna, Horatio needs to make a command test to get them to do anything. No, that's courage. Stop doing that. That's an 8. That's not gonna do it. These are discipline 6 plus 12, 18. Yep, I know. So they're in chaos as you and the Tairoshi Mercenaries pincer them in this tower corridor. Horatio, for the first time in his life, looks panicked. Gone is that horrific kind of humor and like malicious smile with the world, and he is now fearing for his life. He, in the chaos, in the middle of this unit, rushes to a doorway, pulling his wife and a couple of the sandworms with him, and drops down into a stairwell.
This motherfucker. Okay.
The Tairoshi Mercenaries still get an action against the Raiders.
Smash them. Get rid of them. They're just a fucking pain in the ass right now. Let's just destroy them. They're not loyal to me anyway, so they must die. Wow. Okay, the turn's already begun. 4? Roll 20? Hello?
Okay, well they fight off the mercenaries well, but obviously they're not doing much against your rearguard action. Okay. The Torsi Sand Steeds. What did you want to do, Don? You're hanging off this ship at the moment. On the side of its hull.
Helios wants to pull up and roll up onto the deck of the ship, and then he is going to launch into an all-out attack against the sailors who are guarding the gangplank. He wants to knock them off the ship. He wants to cut through them, provide his men enough space that they can charge onto the deck of the ship and take it, potentially.
Okay. I need you to make me a athletics check. This is going to be DC 12 to start with, to get up there.
This be strength or just a flat athletics?
This would be strength.
Okay. 15.
A 50. That's good. I asked for a 12. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Okay.
So you managed to clamber up the side, just getting some handholds on some of the cracks in the hull, and there's a couple of parts of the ship where you can actually hang on to some rope or something like that as you're climbing further and further up. And then you managed to just get over the precipice, and I think like you said, you just like roll onto the deck. There's a couple of crossbowmen, there's these sailors who just don't know what the fuck just happened. There's this guy just shown up just suddenly here, and they're just in shock as one of them is trying to like desperately like re-crank their crossbow. The other one's kind of like doesn't know whether to bring out a short sword or what. But yeah.
So when he rolls up onto the deck of the ship, for a second he has no weapon, and then he hears the halberd clank on the deck of the ship beside him, and he smiles, reaches out a hand, grabs it, and as he stands up, he begins spinning it around and twirling it, launching himself directly towards the group of sailors who are on the gangplank. So I want to attack their unit, I guess.
Yeah. I don't have no stats for them, so I'm just gonna probably
wing it.
It's
a 27
Jesus
with 3 6s.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to disorganize the Royner fleet. Yeah, as you just like murder your way through men left and right. Oh man, it's only means of escape. Shame. 10 men.
Then it'll be a
Oh.
10. It'll be a 10 for the attack of the charging sand steeds.
Oh yeah, shit.
They're trying to board.
Yeah, we'll do the defense. I'll ignore that AR though. 7. 1 degree of success.
1 degree of success will be 6
Yeah.
damage.
Oof. Yeah, and the rest of your Sandsteed boys rush onto the deck and start just running sailors through. They're mostly equipped with crossbows and maybe some, almost like scimitars and short swords and stuff like that. They are not like really equipped to deal with an assault like this. And so very, very quickly, the remainder of the crew start to lay down arms, and the captain rushes out just from the top deck, taking out a couple of your fellow Sandsteed troops. Unless you want to be part of it, is quickly like run through.
Yeah, I just want to pick up I'll just pick up like a spear that's fallen from one of my sand steeds who died. Hold my halberd in my left hand for a second and lean on it because I'm probably pretty tired at this point. Heft that spear in my right hand and just take a throw at him as he's rushing down towards the group.
Yeah, and it lands directly center mass through his chest and probably impales him on the stairs as well. And that is what sends the rest of the crew to lay down their weapons and just stand in surrender.
Yeah, he'll just kind of smile, and as his soldiers kind of start to take the captives, and he'll go to that scorpion and just kind of run his hands along it. And he'll call back to his men, "Get this ship turned around. Let's have this aimed at the gate, just in case they try to run."
All right. Fucking hell. Ezra's fleet is sailing by just westerly, as that's the direction she was headed. Miria, you've got the rear of the sandworms ahead of you, and you got the mercenaries. Let's resolve the mercenaries first. What's their kind of goal here?
The mercenaries' goal right now is to keep these the sandworms occupied, keep them fighting them, so that Miria and the Blood Royals and Harris can whoop and go after Horatio.
Okay, nice. So yeah, roll that attack for me.
Okay, hey, roll 20. Let's not do what we did last time, shall we? Thank you. 3. 14. Let's go with 2 sixes.
2 6s, nice. That is 2 degrees of success and a crit.
Okay, so that will be 8 damage with the AR being reduced by 1.
8 damage, you say?
CC.
Okay. They are going to rout. They can't rout, though. They're just kind of stuck here.
There's nowhere to route to.
There's nowhere to run. So they're not going to run in their turn, but they are going to fight to the death. Susie. Did you want to try and move past them, or did you want to try and get rid of them? You can see that they're failing, and that it's now this like maelstrom of people as there are cries to run, there are cries to flee. A few people just like jump out of a window, make it down that stairway that Horatio had just gone through, but most of them are running, turn around, see you guys, and are just spinning, and it's horrible because they're almost going to be crushing themselves.
It's like a
as they
kettle,
kind of
right?
like you're kettling them and they're kind of stampeding around each other, and people are starting to be trampled just because people want to get out and get away.
Yeah, no, Mary can see that that situation is in hand. It's horrific. And it's probably going to haunt her for the rest of her life. But eyes on the prize, Horatio has run, so she can't be thinking about them right now. She's just going straight for Horatio. So she's ordering the Brotherhood with her to pursue.
Okay. I am going to enforce the cinema of this. And as you rush through, the Brotherhood are just kind of like slaying people left and right. They're moving in and they're just taking people out, but it's slow going for them. You have a singular purpose, and so you duck and you weave, and you are agile and smaller than most of them, so you can dip in and out of what's happening. And we follow you as you duck and weave around all of that. You, without even realizing kind of who's behind you, who's around you, get into that stairwell and rush. You've got two options. Up the tower a little bit, maybe a floor or two, or down.
Shit. Is there like any indication, like sounds, or is it just too cacophonous with...
Make me an awareness notice check. This is going to be hard. This is going to be difficult. 15.
Yeah. 15, okay, all right. I'm gonna use one of my keep voice. Awareness. Where's my awareness? Awareness notice. 23.
You can hear echoing coming from below you. 2, 3, maybe 4 sets of footsteps, rushing quickly.
Yeah. It's that moment, right? She's running. She can hear the battle behind her, the screams, the clanging of metal, but she takes that moment to pause as she reaches the intersection before she dashes down. So yeah, she goes after.
You can hear one more set of feet behind you, rushing behind you too. Heavy set, and they're running as quickly as they can down the stairs, maybe sometimes 2 jumping 3 at a time, like you, to try and keep up with you. And you rush further and further down the steps. You get to what must be the murder holes, the battlement area, where there are these kind of catacombs almost. And it's like, it's fucking crazy, it's only just struck me, but it's like that Vulture's Roost kind of catacombs they put you in underneath, except this is much more well kept, but it's got that same kind of, columns with arches supporting the castle and the courtyard above it. But it seems to be this like expanse of area of barrels, of ammunition, of crossbows and little short bows and stuff like that, all around. And Harris comes up to you and he takes a torch sconce off the wall, and he looks around, and you hear nothing. Just kind of drips, and you can just about hear the muffled fight from above. And he looks at you. He says, "Where to now?"
To search for them.
And he like nods, and he makes a kind of motion to just start looking. I want you to make me another awareness notice check, and Harris is going to give you a +1 flat modifier.
Oh, sweet.
Well, he's helping you, isn't he?
15.
And I am going to spend a keep die on my end as well. I'm going to pop this out because I want chat to see me. Oh, I forgot it fucking bumps up like that. Okay. And you look for and listen out as clearly as you can. Harris at one point holds up a hand and says, "Wait," and that echoes through the chamber, and he just listens. And again, you can hear the muffled battle from upstairs. but he stops, and it's just there's this moment in time that's just you just feel it's just a little bit too long, and you need to do something, but you can't discern exactly where you need to go.
Mm-hmm. Miria is gonna, knowing Horatio as the prideful dickhead that he is, she's gonna call out, "The battle is lost, Horatio. You have no men. You have no ships. Come out, and I will spare your wife." Be the last act you do on this earth. Be an honorable one for once in your life. And she just issues that challenge to him.
That's when you hear a shuffling and quick footsteps, a couple of them, moving in the darkness, out ahead of you, and then the kind of loud, at least here in this chamber, creak of a heavy wooden door opening. But at least there, that gives you a little bit more light, a little bit peeking in. And that light starts to move away, almost again like as if a torch has been taken from a sconce. As you and Harris rush into there. I need you, please, to roll me an athletics run check. And I'll tell you now, Horatio's got a bonus dice in this. And I'm going to use my last test die.
I'm going to use mine because, let me tell you, chums, Maria, not great at the old athletics. Fucking Horatio, man. Ugh.
He's a fucking
9.
dickhead. And I love playing him. He's an absolute fucking dickhead.
He is a fucking dickhead.
Because there's absolutely no fucking valiance in his heart whatsoever.
Not even a little bit.
Just none.
Oh my god.
He's a knight, mate. He's got like 4 athletics. Okay. And then
What about Harris? Is he fast?
We're about to find out, I guess.
Come on, Harris.
Where are you, Harry?
This might earn you a smooch. Come on. Oh!
Harris runs past you, and yeah, this is what happens. Harris runs past you, and you don't quite catch up with them as you make your way through this tiny corridor, and it is a little murder chamber.
Great.
It's got like large, long, tall arrow slits on either side. It is one of those little bits where if someone's coming through this, striking your memory, being the postern gate that leads out into the dry moat, into the north of the dry moat. This murder box, if anyone is on either side of these, then you are fucked. And there is just a second of you glancing around where that just strikes at the back of your mind. But rushing as quickly as your feet and your legs will push and carry you, you turn a corner, you turn another corner, you turn back on yourself again as it's one of those little mazy ramps up to underneath all the murder holes and up to the dry moat. And as you rush out into the bright moonlight of the night and into the dry moat, you see Harris stood over Horatio's wife. And she's fallen. And it's just her.
Oh, of course it is. Okay. All right. Okay. Amelia catches up to them. And she looks at Jane, first of all, to make sure that she's still alive and not dead.
Apart from some scrapes, Apart from a scraped knee, she's okay.
Okay. And Mary's gonna bend down. Where did he go?
And she looks confused for a second, and then she almost like her kind of only power is to not answer you. So she just doesn't say anything. And she just glares at you.
Oh god. Okay. Miria is gonna grab her dress, pull her close, and intimidate her. Where did he go, Jane? And she's gonna, with her left hand, pull the dagger on her belt and use that to enhance the question.
Enhance the question. Stunning. All right. I've got the lady stats up. Let's go.
Okay. Gonna intimidate her. Get all yelly and angry. With a 16. Thanks, Roll20.
It takes you pressing the dagger up to her neck. So much so, and you just steel yourself from actually like injuring her in any way, but just a speck of blood starts to run down her neck as she feels that prick. She points off towards the kind of northwest, just up the moat.
Okay. And Miria like points to Harris, like, go try and get eyes on him. By this point, have any of the Brotherhood or anybody caught up with us?
No.
Fuck. Okay. All right. Miria's gonna grab the bottom of Jane's dress, cut off a section, and she's gonna bind Jane's hands. And
Okay.
she's coming along because I don't have time to fucking spare.
What's your overall strat? Broadly speaking, Harris just runs into the night.
Yeah. It's trying to find fucking Horatio. Trying to get him, because without him, none of this means anything. Because he can just tool off, run to Papa Martell and come back. Well, so we have to get Horatio. So that's the goal. Get Horatio.
Okay. After you've binded up Jane's wounds, or binded up her neck a little bit and her ouchie on her knee, you head up the dry moat up to the north here, and you look out. Harris is a little bit further in towards the town, a little bit further here, but as you look out over towards the east, I have burned a destiny point, and you see a lone rider on a horse rushing to the east.
That fucking cowardly dick. Okay. All right. Fine. It's fine. Because now I have a nice Martell hostage. So that's lovely. Okay. So Miria is going to, I think, link back up with Harris, because I imagine he's stopped pursuing once the rider has gone.
Yeah.
And I think Miria feels like the situation in the keep is very underhand, and that's sorted. So yeah, be looking to the village, to the docks, to see how that's gone from where they are, see if she can tell. But then that would be making her way back into the keep.
What's your like, what do you say to the people inside? I mean, there are probably now the fighting has died down. As you make your way back inside, back up towards the keep, you're informed by the Brotherhood that like effectively the most of the town is in here because they expected an attack. They even might have expected a siege. And so I mean, that strikes true, and what would be down in the catacombs certainly would be stores as well for them to survive a siege. But yeah, in amongst the different little kind of towers and halls and rooms and antechambers that are in part of the kind of inner Bailey wall, but also there's kind of buildings that are actually built into the courtyard a little bit, and the main keep itself. There's crowds of people here, crowds of small folk, women and children, elderly men, some men who can't fight, but most of them were drafted into the levies.
I think the first order the Miri would have given out once the fighting was done is anyone who was a non-combatant was not to be harmed. And it would be like almost humanitarian in that she's making sure that everybody has food and water, because if they've been cloistered up, maybe they don't have the stuff to hand, when the battle broke out, maybe, so she would make sure that, food and water is being handed out to the people. And she would try to talk to them in a group try and make it not as intimidating. She's not stood on top of the battlements flying her own flag or anything. She's trying to get down there amongst them. And she says, the coward Horatio Ironwood has fled, leaving you here. Despite what you've seen today, I do not want to come here as a conqueror, as an invader. I am merely a child of the blood royal returned home to my rightful place. And I am sorry that it took this for this to happen. But from this day and this day onwards, I am here to serve you. And I am here to protect you. Anything I can do to help, anything I can do to make your lives better, happier, easier, I swear to you with my very last breath that I will do so. Today has been a bloody day, a horrible day, a terrible day. But tomorrow we begin to rebuild. Tomorrow, we begin to restore Ironwood. Horatio failed to do what is basic, what is assumed of the Ironwoods. He failed to guard the way. But I swear to you that I will not. I will guard the way. And then she just pauses for effect.
There's an echo of the "We Guard the Way" motto from the Brotherhood. But the garrison corpses have piled high in the courtyard, and the Tairoshi merchants from the other end of the keep are whipping up any little gold tankards and portraits and anything they can get their hands on. And so the small folk still sit and cower in fear for the moment as you claim House Ironwood and its keep. But Horatio lives to fight another day.
That son of a bitch.
But he doesn't have he doesn't have any destiny points left.
Don't got a wife either, because I've got a boom. But she's being well treated.
Not a tyrant at all.
No.
Sure.
Hey, she's being looked after. Her wounds have been dressed and cared for. She's been put in fresh clothing after I ripped up her dress.
Fair enough.
Not a monster yet.
We have to actually get there first, rather than just drop the monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not season 8. This.
Gotta ding some bells, and then I'll just.
Yeah. Thanks, friends. That was fun. Oh, fucking cool. All right.
It was juicy.
Yeah. Fucking juicy. It just feels a bit weird just being like, let's go around, have a chat, see how everyone's doing.
Right?
Fuck me. Oh, that was fucking cool. That was
I
fucking
feel
cool.
like I've done as much running as Maria did today.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So full on plan was if it was going south, Horatio dashes to the boats, just fucks off to Sunspear. But unfortunately now all he's got is a horse, and Ezra's fleet has inherited some scorpions.
oh,
So isn't that cool?
that is cool. That'll be very helpful in the war to come.
Yeah. I don't think you guys even got too disorganized.
Nope.
Fucking hell. What?
It got hairy with I think the Ezra's fleet went down to 3 health.
Yeah.
But Tairoshi's were on 8 of 9, and Ironwood were on 8 of 9.
Fucking hell. It's that armor every time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what tanks it. Okay. Well, all right. In some form of rounding up, let's do some of the aftermath stuff. That might feel a little bit more cathartic, a little bit more of a come down. Okay, so the commander who won the battle gains glory for their house. The amount of glory won depends on the number of units faced and defeated as shown on the table. In addition, the defeated commander also earns 1 glory for participating in the battle, even though he lost the engagement. I'm not going to give him that. How many units did you defeat?
He deserves a glory. Oh god, we did the levy archers.
2
we
levies.
did sandworms.
Sandworms.
2 levies.
2 levies.
Sandworms.
The sandworms routed, so
Guardians.
yeah, I'd give you that. Guardians.
Guardians of the Stoneway.
That was kind of
got
it, right?
3 on my side was the 2 levies and then the ship.
Susie, you get Miria gets 2 glory.
Yes. Glory is so good.
Glorious. Sorry.
Now we need to do an updated WrestleMania thingy in between the seasons, maybe. Yep. Okay, resources. If the stronghold wasn't destroyed in the fighting, the victor increases their house's defense score by the amount equal to... Okay. You have inherited the Ironwood stuff, all the holdings and the domain. But the loser reduces their law resource by 1d6. Okay, so I tell you what. I'm going to go to the... Where is this other one? I'm going to go to the House Ironwood sheet, like spreadsheet thing we've got back in here. I need you to roll a d6 for me. Because while you've inherited House Ironwood, they lost.
Yeah, that's
so.
1.
Oh, nice. You managed to keep it.
It's all that humanitarian work I'm doing afterwards. That's the important bit.
Okay.
Sorry, we bulldozed your house. Have some bread.
Oh my God. If the loser lost the domain, reduce the house's population resource by 1d6. If the victor chooses to hold the land, their house increases its population by 1d6 minus 1. You inherit the population. You are going to lose, or they are going to lose 6 population from the... Oh no, they might not. Okay, let's look at this, because they used levies, which by the rules as written reduces your population, and I figured out how I'm gonna change this. Okay, any units that were destroyed reduce the house's power by an amount equal to the investment. Okay, so there is a fancy table for survivors. But I've house ruled this, I'm pretty sure. So, casualties. When a unit is disorganized, Routzer is defeated. They must make an endurance resilience test once the battle is over. A failure reduces their veterancy by 1, while a crit means they're destroyed. Okay, I didn't put any XP in here, so let me go back to the actual book. Oh right, yeah, okay, so if they were damaged, roll me a d6 for the Brotherhood.
3.
Okay, they're intact. Roll me a d6 for the Tairoshi Mercenaries.
1.
They lose 2 training.
Oh! Well,
So
I'm glad they're not my troops.
So their casualties mean that they are now green.
Oh, jeez. Ooh. There you go, Harris. Boo. Take them back.
Oh no, they're destroyed.
Oh.
That's kind of cool though. So they loot and then they fuck off.
Yeah, I like that thematically. Yeah.
They loot the stuff and then they fuck off to the ships and then they're just like, yeah, we're off, bye.
No, that works. That fits.
They hung around, huh? Okay.
Well, you know.
If they... Okay, so I need you... Well, I need them, actually. Gorillas. They routed. They need to make a hard 15 endurance test. They have endurance of 2. This is going to go well. 8. They are destroyed. Okay, so
you can rebuild.
You don't have any sandworms. The Guardians of the Stoneway surrendered, so I'm going to say they were defeated for an 18. And that means that they will just fail this. I just rolled 2 6s.
They tried really hard.
They did. They weren't. I mean, they're kind of like they weren't defeated. They routed, right, and then they just kind of gave up. So it wasn't like they were destroyed. I'm gonna make that a 15. So that's just a failure. So they reduced their veterancy by 1. So you now have trained garrison.
Okay, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I'll write this in the House Ironwood thing.
Thank you.
That's all right. I'll add a comment in here. And then I need you to roll 2d6 for me twice to see who, or 3 times, to see who of the peasant levies survive.
9, 10, and 9.
Okay, you're going to reduce your population by 4 because of the deaths with that. And the people doing a runner, but the 10 that you got there means that the population survives, but the unit is just the one of the levy units is disbanded anyway.
Gotcha.
So the population does go down, but at least all the peasants aren't dead.
That's true.
At least all the smart folk aren't dead.
At least I'm not Queen of the Ashes, you know.
Yeah.
Yet.
Cool. All right. So that is this is where we leave Miria at the end of this season. Next episode, we've got the wedding thing. I've had an idea about this, Don. Unless you guys wanted to really make it like a scene, in one of those ways where like there's like it's a bit like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead, where you don't see any of Hamlet, but it all takes place like in the wings, right? I would love it if the whole episode was like in the wings of the wedding. So we see like because we've already seen them get married. Like I don't think we need to see them or role play them through kind of that ceremony again, unless that's an important part of your plot. But it could be like we could focus on all of the little conversations you have with people, all of the little asides that you have, and all that kind of stuff. That's what I was
think that's a
thinking.
really cool idea. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it for sure and figure it out. But yeah, this is cool because we've got the complexity here, leaving Miria like this, that I like about this game, where it's like it wasn't just we won, we got all the stuff. Like you've got a hostage, but Horatio's still on the run. The Torty Sandsteeds are gonna go back to Jourdain. Ezra's fleet's now got a Scorpion. You maybe haven't quite got the trust of your small folk. But now Harris is going to expect you to now come with him to come and take the Reach. Like this isn't the beautiful. You now have a house and a holdfast and a castle, and you know you're a lady. Like you got responsibilities and complexity to deal with.
Yep, it's a shit show.
Man, I love this game.
The Miria Ironwood story.
But I get to do some fun Photoshop and invert the colours of the Ironwood shield. Shield change. Yeah. Do you want to do like Blackfyre did and invert the colours, or do you want it's like
I don't want to do a big whacking red line. That sucks. But like
great red diagonal line.
Yeah, gold pot colours on a black background. Oh
yeah. Fuck yeah. All right, you can do the Photoshop for me. I'm gonna be lazy.
Okay, all right, cool.
I've got to figure out color overlays. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I did it.
But we got a shield change. Sweet. Oh dear. But you know, you now have a castle that's not greatly defended. It's got like some Blood Royal guys. That's about it.
Yep. Well, look, it was never going to be easy, but Horatio, do you know what? It was all worth it for that look on Horatio's face when he was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, oh, that right there. Can we just freeze frame, rewind, slow motion,
free play,
enhance?
Oh my God. Okay, so no more sandworms, right? They just ups and died.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 2 units. You have a trained garrison, and you have. Oh my God.
I love though Miria. She now has a castle. She now has a name and a new shield. Still not a smooch.
Oh shit! No, I really wanted a moment, like maybe where Harris was in trouble or something just afterwards, or something like that, where there was a big smooch. But no, I think this is great. I think they're like they're looking.
No, I like it.
They're looking out on the rider and they're just like fuck. Like that's our last like shot, right?
Well, that's it, right? The fantasy of it is like Miria's like, we're going to go into the castle and there's going to be some fighting, but it won't be too bad because Harris is here and the boys are here. I got the blood royals. We'll just walk in and get it. And it was a horrible, nasty fight and lots of people died. And Miria imagined maybe at the end she'd be looking out over Ironwood. Maybe she'd get a smooch after the fighting was done. But I like it that it's all just like the harsh reality is this is not a story. Like, this isn't all sunshine and roses. This is fucking horrible.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm here for
when
it.
I was watching, I was so scared when Horatio was hidden and you were searching and Harris ran ahead. Like, my worst case scenario was in the back of my head was like, you're going to turn a corner and Horatio is going to slice through Harris with a poisoned halberd and you're going to have to
That's
watch
what I
him.
thought.
Yeah.
I was like, no, don't let their smooch be as one of them is dying. Oh, God. Oh, I was imagining Harris ran off after a sound, and it was like that Horatio had sent Jane running as a distraction for then him to come and stab Miria while that was happening, because I think Horatio would probably win in a one-on-one fight between Horatio and Miria. So I was like, oh, God. But, do what you gotta do.
I'm looking forward to those potential one-on-one combats in battles to come, like next season. That'd be so fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want him to run to Sunspear. I want him to get to Sunspear just as the Blackfyres attack. And he's like, Papa Martell, please help. They took my house. Oh, no.
Yeah.
And he has to beg. He has to be a beggar on the streets. Oh,
amazing.
That'd be juicy. Anyway.
Right. We should do our usual plugs and stuff. If you have enjoyed what we do here, we make a number of games too. We have made the Spy game, which is our 5e powered game of international espionage and action. We're on a little break at the moment because we're doing our Cursed Captains of Cthulhu Kickstarter from our Wednesday streamed game, Hexcrawl. But I want to talk to the guys about doing follow-up, kind of like a second season style thing to that. So that should be really cool. I've got some kind of ideas about, them being proper Mission Impossible rogue on the run type peeps fighting capitalism and all that shit. But yeah, we are trying to organize another stream for Cursed Captains of Cthulhu, which is our current Kickstarter. You can head over to that link in chat, CCC Kickstarter, on the bit.ly link, and you can head over to the campaign there. We're like $1,000 away from funding. It's like so close. Even if you have already pledged, even if you can't pledge and you're watching this, please do check it out. Share, like, retweet, repost, even organically, just like link it to friends that might like it, because that is the number one way that we're going to get our voice out there with the game. It's Pirates versus Cthulhu. What more would you want, right? So if that's up your alley, or if anyone you know would really like that game, check out the link and please do post it around the internet. It does so much better doing that than any ads or any kind of promotion on here or anything like that. So please do that too. And back it if you can, because it's going to be an awesome game. I'm really looking forward to it. All the kind of setting and the nasty mythos stuff is all coming from the mind of one James Barry. Hello, don't know who that was. And nice segue to our little PDF we did for DM's Guild. James wrote that, and it is Dreams, Nightmares, and Half-Remembered Meetings, and that is all about like weird monsters and diseases and stuff that just is a little bit out of the norm. If your party in D&D is really tired of the kind of normal diseases and shenanigans and some poisons and potions and stuff, give them a encounter or two with this. It's not much. Over on DM's Guild, you can hit up that bit.ly link, DNHBCG, and you can grab that PDF right now. Susie, what are you up to next? Where can we find you? When you've recovered?
When I've recovered, I'll probably be back to normal by Monday, to be honest, chums, because I was managing to. I was fine here, thanks to painkillers. Monday, what do I even do on Mondays anymore? Stuff. I'll be on my channel on Monday from 2 p.m. Eastern. We've been playing Sea of Thieves the past couple of weeks, but I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe Sea of Thieves, maybe Crusader Queens might come back. Who knows? Maybe it might be an art stream. Who knows? Because I have been, just to segue back to Cursed Captains there briefly, I've been working on art for CCC, and you will have seen a sketch from the latest piece in our latest update, which will appear in part 2 of our free quick start, which is a voyage. It's a piece which I have entitled Half Man, Half Shoggoth, All Bad Time. So he does have a proper name, but that's what I've entitled the piece. And that's what it'll go on when it's in the Louvre later on. It'll be that title, Susanna Grace 2021 digital.
The Louvre for RPGs, man. That's an idea.
Like, I can dream. Don't crush my dreams, Sam. But yeah, so if I'm not playing video games on my channel, I'll be working on art for CCC. So do check that out. I'm usually live from 2 p.m. Or 3 p.m. Eastern every weekday.
Nice, thanks, friend. And Don, what are you up to? Anything you can talk about?
Yeah, probably. I'm terrible at talking about things. I had a blast today, first of all. I was really, really glad to get to commit some violence and get to play with Susie. Obviously, like I was very, very excited to see Susie retake House Ironwood, even under terrible conditions, even though Horatio Ironwood, who is the fucking worst, got away. He will not always get away. It's just one more season. You'll get him next time. I have no doubt in my mind. But I had a blast. I mean, I got to smash a bunch of people, play around with a halberd again with a different character. I rode a horse into the sea and stole a ship. So success. I had a great time. As far as like what I'm up to or whatever, if you're interested, I write and design games. I run games. Like that's my life. That's my job. You can follow me on Twitter if you want at Jonathan Fry. I have a Patreon, which you can find via my Twitter. And if you sign up, then, even at the lowest tier, then you basically get, opportunity when a seat opens up in one of my games. If you're interested in playing with me, you can do it there. And I feel like I have something I'm forgetting that is actually like current. Oh yeah, on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, I'm joining another stream. It's an 8-episode short, really dark fantasy campaign I'm playing. So I run a lot of D&D, but I don't get to play a lot of D&D. So I'm playing in it, and I'm pretty excited about my character in that. And that's on Tall Squall's channel. So I mean, it's twitch.tv/Tall Squall. And it's a really cool group. I'm really excited about it. So
Nice.
it'll be a fun like little story to tell.
Sweet.
I think that's 8 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll have to catch the VOD. Nice. Super cool. All right.
Also, please back Cursed Captains of Cthulhu. I'm really excited about it too. I know it'll hit its goal really, really soon. But I'm really excited to get to contribute to that. And I promise to try to deliver the most disturbing thing that I can to you that you will allow for.
That's what we're after. Thanks, man. Well, as for us, we are live again, maybe on Monday, maybe with some Crusader Queens. We'll figure something out, or maybe some pirate shenanigans. We might be live on Wednesday with some more Cursed Captains, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see what we can figure out. But if you want to catch
Schedules
more,
are a little
at the minute. We're figuring it out. But if you want to catch more after the fire, we are back in a fortnight, same time, where we are going to go and have a fun time with Samuel and Mara at their official wedding, where they have invited a bunch of totally not politically driven guests. But it will be the last chance to size people up and get some allegiances for the upcoming civil war, which in the next season, who knows how that will spiral, how big that will get, depending. So yeah, very excited about that. So, yeah, keep an eye out on Twitter, see what we're up to. But if not, we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time, chums. Have we got a raid? No, we never do. We're bad.
Come on, Sam. It's us.
I need to look at where's the stream? It's just Twitch. Hello, Twitch. Stay with us, chums.
Please hold the line.
Please hold. No, none of our chums. None of my chums are streaming.
Nope.
I don't know.
Vanna's streaming. Let's go give a raid to Vanna.
Oh yeah, if you can do that.
I'm on it.
You might be able to. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah. Thanks everyone. And yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Like we play this because we enjoy it, but I love seeing all the messages in chat, and I love the reaction and shit that we get. So